It for the shoe.
I'll see you this Friday at the Ale Emporium North.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position for the right person. If you or someone you know is just out of college or is in college studying electrical engineering or a related field, this job may be perfect for you and your future career growth. You'll get hands-on experience with lighting and power technology. You'll learn real-world skills like building design, utilizing 3D modeling with Revit, and you'll get competitive pay with a benefits package while doing it.
Hi, this is James Darnell. I'm the Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to start a career. Our staff averages 16 years with the company, and the majority of our clients are repeat ones. We emphasize service and respect for our customers, one another, and our environment.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Hey, JMV and fellas, need an annual health exam? I recommend going to Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They will check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and an office visit with their medical provider to give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center specializes in men's health care. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. That's Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
An exclusive Pacers experience fans won't want to miss.
Here's a deep three. Halliburton.
Introducing the all-new Pacers Plus plan. Get this 5-game plan that includes either the Lakers or Warriors. Plus, an exclusive Pacers post-game experience with your favorite Pacer players at a bonus 6-game.
A 40-point night for Miles Turner.
Plus, a limited edition autographed Pacers Wilson mini basketball. Plus, a 6-month subscription to the all-new Bally Sports Plus, letting you stream every 22-23 Pacers game. Secure your plan now by visiting Pacers.com.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone therapy. They've got me on a testosterone program. Got to tell you, I feel amazing. Get started at feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Colts head to Tennessee to face the division rival Titans. Coverage Sunday morning at 10 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
And again, it's picked up. It's Darius Leonard. A pick 6 for the Maniac. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Yes, sir.
Oh, the chicken. Double time.
Miles Turner.
Yeah. John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. We're busy rest of the week in studio for the final time this week. Tomorrow, downtown at Coach's, and then coming up on Friday, Ale Emporium up in Castleton. We've got a Bud Light Blue Friday. We've got a Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday coming at you tomorrow at Coach's downtown. Busy, to say the least. I have something for those. Let me see a show of hands that plan on making the drive down to Nashville on Sunday and attending the rematch of the Colts and the Titans. Show of hands right now. Who plans on going? Anybody? Anybody out there? Because I don't have tickets for you. I try to do my best to get you hooked up as much as possible, right? Because I want you guys to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to have continuous fun. I want to live this thing hassle-free, even though we know life's impossible to live hassle-free. I've got stories for you coming up. But I want you to be a part of some fun, and I don't have tickets for the game, but I can, if you have tickets to the game already, set you up or at least give you the opportunity to be set up with a fantastic invasion of a Titans tailgate. And I'll tell you how I can win that really a couple of times an hour coming up a little bit later on. Big news of yesterday was the outspoken nature of Colts owner Jim Irsay regarding the situation with Commanders owner Daniel Snyder. And that news kind of broke and was fluid during our 5 o'clock hour. And, of course, I went over it and told you exactly what was going on, the quotes that were coming out, why I felt that Jim Irsay was compelled to stand up, being the only owner to stand up. And basically what he was doing was, all right, from what we see now upon this further investigation, there is merit to make a change. There is merit to oust the Commanders owner. A lot of you have asked, why does he feel so compelled to do it? And this is just my opinion. And I know that it's the educated opinion of others, but I know that he would like to be, and he's probably never going to be one of, the top owners go to as far as leadership, but I know he wants to lead. He wants to lead as far as the owners are concerned. And, other owners always haven't really viewed him like that. So this is kind of like new territory, new ground. Plus, he does have a legitimate feeling that if this is what took place, there needs to be a change made. So both of those are opinions. Both of those are educated opinions. And both of those as well, we'll see as we move forward where this goes. The one thing that you've caught in the past nearly 24 hours is that seemingly everybody, with the exception of the Commanders, it seems like everybody is on board with it. And he has really overwhelmingly been lauded for stepping outside what is that comfort zone that most of these owners have been a part of, not saying anything, and being that lone owner to say something. And from what all I've read and gauging what has been said, it seems as if right now everybody's been pretty much on board with it. At least to this point. I don't know if it sets up coming up in a couple of weeks any more interesting game than what you already had. Still, to me, having Carson Wentz be available would be a hell of a lot more interesting than this, because it's not like the two owners are going to get down in the middle of the field and go at it. I think that would be hilarious, but that's not going to happen. They're probably not going to go out to dinner beforehand. Probably wouldn't have gone out to dinner beforehand anyway. But at the same time, I don't know how much other than just the storyline. You'll probably have more of a storyline than what you normally would have between the Colts and the Commanders at the end of October, because of what took place yesterday. But all in all, there is the feeling certainly that this is, Jim Irsay kind of wants to be that leader NFL ownership-wise. Wants to be viewed that way and is, in this case, not afraid to take that baton and kind of run with it. And that's why you heard and you saw what you heard and saw yesterday. And there's listen, I can't break down the other aspects of it, the whole personal life of it, having the daughters and, being changed by virtue of that. But I can speak to the fact where he does want to be viewed in the leadership category. He wants to be known as, for both the NFL, for certainly this market, for the fan base here, and for the rest of the owners, he wants to kind of be, viewed as a leader in that capacity. And one of the reasons why he took the stance, and certainly he believes in that particular stance. So there are probably personal aspects going on, personal aspects of growth. And I can tell you by being 52 and 53 years old, when I say growth and maturity, it happens. I probably could use some growth and maturity. No doubt. You guys listen every day. You probably know that I could probably use growth and maturity. So there are just different levels in life and what you're doing that you discover and you want to be a part of. And this is another one. And certainly it stood out yesterday because no owner has been that outspoken regarding this Daniel Snyder situation until yesterday. So we shall see where that goes, and we can hit that if you like. I saw the quote a little bit earlier from Jim Irsay. You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. And a lot of you are going, well, wait a minute, what does that mean? Well, obviously you know what it means, but it's from the Mellencamp album Scarecrow, going back to 1985, which, by the way, is an incredibly, Kyle and I were listening to it in the pre-show. It is an incredibly underrated album. But that is, you've got to stand for something from the 85 album Scarecrow of John Mellencamp. That is where that quote got its start on Jim Irsay's Twitter account a little bit earlier today. Meantime, the Colts are back in practice in preparation for Sunday versus Tennessee. Looked like Shaquille Leonard was back at practice today. Not much to be said about the possibilities of any of these guys coming back playing. Shaquille Leonard was back today. Jonathan Taylor was back today. Nyheim Hines was back today. And we'll check in with their availability coming up a little bit later on, I'm sure, a little bit later on in the week, in fact, regarding their availability. But one guy that had played quite well in a backup role until he got injured in that Sunday victory over Jacksonville. Deon Jackson. I know a lot of people have been impressed with Deon Jackson. Deon Jackson off the bench had really helped out this team, without question. And Deon Jackson will join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. He's not been on this show. I don't think he's been on any shows. And I just kind of wanted to get a little bit more of a background. It's interesting. You go back to when he made this team. Basically he made this team as more of, well, he can be a backup running back, but he can be a special teamer. That was exactly the reason why, even though he's been active, Philip Lindsay did not make the team. Then Philip Lindsay ended up on the practice squad. Then obviously with the injuries, Philip Lindsay was brought up and then activated. But the main reason why Deon Jackson, and that, you look back at training camp, and that was one of the, if not the biggest surprise. Because I think everybody thought that Philip Lindsay, because of his history of producing, having productive seasons at the running back, being a backup was a foregone conclusion. But, you miss out on a guy like Zach Pascal, ends up via free agency, leaving. And you needed a little bit more for a special teams unit that you expect a great deal out of. And Deon Jackson was a guy that had experience playing special teams, is comfortable in doing it, is good at doing it. And that's how he scored, or at least helped score, a roster spot. And then when he got the opportunity to take advantage of it for the first time in Denver nearly a couple of weeks ago on a Thursday night, he did just that. And then you saw him do that again on Sunday up until he got injured. I don't know much about much, but I do know that he runs hard. He runs hard and he goes at it, but we'll find out a lot more regarding Deon Jackson, Colts running back, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. First time he's ever paid a visit. We'll talk to him again coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Kevin Bowen is going to join us as well. Kevin's going to be here in the 4 o'clock hour. Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts, is going to be here coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get back to the Colts conversation in a second, but also a big night for the Pacers. They open up the season down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the first of 3 home dates, and then they go on the road, I believe, for 5 games after that. But the first of 3 at home, that is tonight, Friday night, and Saturday, I believe. First of 3, tonight's the Washington Wizards. A lot of you have suggested, and I don't want to temper your enthusiasm, because at some point, it'll hit you. I was asked this last night, so I go out and play a little bit of hoop last night over at CG really late. Didn't re-injure my foot. That was fantastic. Great job. Bathed in CBD oil. I don't know if really that worked or not, but I'll give it credit where credit is due because it was almost like that it did work. I guess when I come up with the fact that I didn't re-injure my foot, that I guess it did work. But I was being asked about the opener or the season for the Pacers in general and whether or not do you think that they could surprise. I don't think that they can surprise. They're going to have some good nights where you're going to think, hey, this thing is ahead of schedule. Look how talented. Look how young these guys are. I think Fort Wayne's older than the Pacers are right now. Look how talented. Look how young. This thing is way ahead of schedule. And then you're going to have nights where basically they're blown out from the gate. And you're going to say, this is not working, these guys aren't it, or it's going to take even longer than what I had first thought. And you're going to have to balance this particular opinion all season long. Now, most of you, if you remember, we go all the way back to what was the conversation regarding a reboot. And most of you that called up, most of you that tweeted me, most of you that emailed me suggested that you would be in. You would not bail on a reboot. This will test your decision. This will test your opinion. Because some nights will be fun. Like tonight is going to be fun. They're going to open it up. You have everything new down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. If you're going to the game, that should be an absolute blast. A lot of newness, a lot of freshness, not only in the building, but on the team. But honestly, believing that they're going to be a lot better or challenged for the postseason. The first things first, you got to just get through a week and see what you got a little bit. And I don't want to see you get worn out on it, for example, before December. This is still October NBA. And while I love it, because I love the NBA, I was watching it last night too. But hey, by the way, did you guys watch the Lakers last night? At some point, they are going to part with that other first rounder, and there's going to be a deal made. You guys happen to see their bench? My friend Greg pointed out their bench, and I was just getting home from playing hoop, and I was looking at the bench, and some of their bench players are in there. That's really their bench? Did they have anybody missing last night due to injury? The Lakers? So they're going to roll out there with LeBron and Anthony Davis. And I guess Russell Westbrook, who, by the way, Russell Westbrook, fantastic. That is going to be just a great soap opera until he ends up being dealt. That's going to be great. Last night, when he came up dinged a little bit, he suggested it was because Darvin Ham had given him the responsibility of coming off the bench. And his body wasn't used to coming off the bench, and he came off cool and wasn't really ready. And that led to his injury. This is just going to be beautiful. This is going to be so great. It's so great. Frank Vogel's going to be somewhere going, man, oh man. I think I'm just going to chill out for a little bit. Sit back. Good luck, Darvin Ham. But no, I watched both, at least most of the end of that second one and a lot of the beginning of the first. I'm with you on the Celtics uniforms too. Come on. I know that it's all about selling. I know it's all about making money. I know you have all these alternative looks. Were those alternative uniforms last night, or is that what they're wearing this year? Because I think they suck.
Aren't those the Bill Russell Memorial uniforms?
Are they?
That they're,
Is that what they were from the Bill Russell?
I think so.
I don't dig them. I don't like them.
They like to wear those black ones too. They should just stick to the classics.
I just love I love the class. There are just some things I was going to mention that I wouldn't change. I understand why you'd want to do it with the Bill Russell Memorial of them, but there are just some things you don't change. I would say the same thing, and I know that the Colts weren't originally here, but I'd say the same thing about the horseshoe. I mean, that's just classic NFL. It's like the C on the side of the Bears helmet is classic NFL to me. There's some things I wouldn't change just for the sake of making money.
Like IU basketball, you don't really want to mess with them too much.
I don't really want to mess with that either. And everything else has been messed with, so I can imagine at some point that we'll see some messing. And I don't know if that makes me old and crotchety or not. Again, I understand if it's an all-time great and, you're honoring the passing of an all-time great. I love the classics. And to me, the green and the white of the Celtics, I'm not a Celtics fan by any stretch. That's the classic. That's a classic. And I think you can view that in every sport. But it really doesn't matter any longer. I mean, because certainly you get the alternatives. Are they going to wear those the entire year? Does it say?
No, I don't think so.
The ones they wore, that was just in honor of Russell last night, or are they going to wear it periodically over the season?
They might wear it periodically, but I know it's not every game.
Yeah, that part makes sense. That makes, again, if you're honoring, an all-time great like that, that makes sense. Other than that, not so much. Yeah, making change for the sake of making change because you can just sell some more gear. I don't think I'm down, especially when you're talking about something classic like that. Is there anything more classic than the Celtics? The green and white, the block lettering? And some of these teams, by the way, here's a couple of things you noticed last night with both the Celtics and the Lakers. When are we going to come to a time where we're going to be running out of numbers?
I think the Celtics are already there.
You see some of the odd numbers. What number was it? 91 last night that Blake Griffin was rocking for the Celtics, I think?
He's in the 90s.
Yeah, there was a 37 I saw that. Like you're seeing some numbers that it's like you got a safety in the NFL or a defensive lineman in the NFL. Just doesn't look right for basketball. At some point, you're going to be running out of numbers. But now I was glad to see the NBA back last night with no Pacers. Pacers start later on tonight, but it was fun to watch those couple of games. Major League Baseball, of course, back at you coming up this afternoon. Kyle Schwarber went second deck, 480 feet. If you're going to stare at something and not have to face any retribution from the opposing pitcher and or team, that would be it. If you hit one that far, you should be allowed really to stare at it and not move until it lands. Nobody should be blamed. That thing was an absolute blast. You should be allowed to stand right there and watch every second of it until it lands, which really didn't take that long, but still. That is absolute admiration. Phillies get that Game 1 win in San Diego over the Padres. Same two teams coming up, I believe, this afternoon, right? Night game is going to be in Houston with the Astros and the Yankees. Yankees dispose, and we were talking yesterday about Josh Naylor of the Cleveland Guardians. You knew when he was rocking the baby and all, I don't know, he just kind of lost his mind after that home run the other night. And then Cleveland goes out and then ends up losing that game, and you come back to Yankee Stadium, and they were ready for the dude last night. Yeah, they lit him up. I didn't even know what he was rocking the baby, and he said something like, to Garrett Cole, you're my son. I'm all good, too, with trash talking. I don't know. It may have to be better than that, though. I think you've heard you're my son or I'm your dad or whatever the hell that is. But man, they gave it to him last night without question. Certainly did. All right, back to the Colts in practice today. Again, if you missed it, Shaquille Leonard. If you missed it, Jonathan Taylor. If you missed it, Nyheim Hines, all back at practice today. I think the most common question asked of me last night, outside of why Jim Irsay decided to stand up and say what he said, what no other owner did yesterday regarding Daniel Snyder, was why can't the Colts continue to run the offense as what we saw in that win over Jacksonville? The hurry up, the tempo, the rhythm passing, the shorter patterns. And my answer was, you can do variations of it. They're not going to go, and they may go no huddle, but it's not going to be a style of no huddle in which presented to you 58 passes for the quarterback this past Sunday. And Frank Reich, again, said as much early in the week. There are variations that I think you have to do. You have to utilize a couple, especially in terms of your wide receiver routes. Because I think that offense just didn't benefit the rhythm and execution of an offense that had little to none of that leading up to the second half on Sunday. But I think it also helped out the offensive line that has been among the worst until that point on Sunday. So I think you benefit them both. We'll see if that rhythm maintains, and we'll see what additions we saw on Sunday continue offensively this Sunday down in Nashville. I did want to say this. I think we have this somewhere. I don't think we have it ready to go. I don't know if you heard it on Colts Roundtable Live, or I think Matt had it yesterday as well in a clip where he was talking to Frank Reich after the game. And he had Frank Reich on Colts Roundtable Live, and they were talking about the wide receivers. And Frank Reich had kind of, they were kind of joking around, or Frank was kind of joking around, and he said, hey, I'm not a I told you so type of guy, but I did tell you about the wide receivers, how they're going to be legit. Here's how it sounded.
I don't like to say I told you so, but I think I'm going to say, no, I'm just
Come on, bring it. Bring the hammer.
No, I want to bring the hammer. I love these guys. I really do. I love these receivers. I've said that all the offseason. I said it all in preseason. Mm-hmm. I think these guys are good players. Everybody's talking about we don't have enough firepower at receiver, and Chris Ballard and I are just looking at each other like, they'll find out. They'll find out.
I love it.
They'll find out.
I love it.
That is Frank Reich from Colts Roundtable Live. And here's where I take a stand on this. Because if you go back, I've been judging on 4 years at that position. I've been judging on 4 years. And then I was also judging on the first 5 weeks of the season. And normally what coaches or anybody in football will tell you is you got to give this thing time. You got to have patience. You got to understand that. It takes a while. But as I told everybody that were on me about the way this offense played in the second half on Sunday, my sample size of still wondering if this is real, or my sample size of this actually being real, is greater than still what you saw on Sunday. Do I think that Alec Pierce is going to be really good? Absolutely. I already think Michael Pittman Jr. is really good. But we've been told this for like 4 years. I've been telling you this for 4 years. And while I hope that this is just a stepping stone to exactly what they're talking about, and I hope that Frank Reich can come back at all of us that question that wide receiving room and say, hey, you know what? I told you so. I just don't know if I would be doing it after a half of football. My sample size is larger. We had 4 years and 5 weeks. Close to 4 years and 5 weeks. My sample size is larger. So you're not allowed to tell me to be patient and then be impatient yourself, if you catch my drift. That's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted. I hope that there is a point where consistently this group produces and they can say, I told you so every time they do. But until there's consistency to it, I think most of us still will remain skeptical, even if we like the two guys at the front. And we do. And we should. And we better. But I think we're all still allowed to remain skeptical until we see consistent results from the players and the team. Talk about that coming up on the other side. Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts, is going to join us bottom of the hour. Kevin Bowen coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Deon Jackson of the Colts, their running back who was injured. We'll find out about that and talk about how he has adjusted to being a focal point at times of this offense in the past 2 weeks. Deon Jackson will join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. If you're going to the game on Sunday, I've got something for you. I've got an angle for you. I want you to be a part of something if you are going. Again, this is only for those that have tickets and are going on Sunday. I guess legitimately, if you don't have tickets, if you wanted to go down and hang out, you could. So who am I? But I think it would work better if you already planned on going, if you're going to make a weekend out of it. How you can invade the Titans tailgate. I'll tell you all about that with bullseyeeventgroup.com and a lot more. That is coming up on the other side again. Pacers-Wizards later on tonight. The Pacers open up their portion of the NBA schedule against the Wizards inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. 6:30, your pregame coverage begins. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. Shout out to everybody there. You got the stream. You got the app. You got us in HD radio at 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Don't go away.
In Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
I was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Hey, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Helzberg Diamonds presents The Guy Who Did His Homework. When it came to Jill's engagement ring, Brady knew exactly what to get.
Okay, so I came up with a design and showed it to all of our friends.
Love it.
Then he went to Helzberg. Their incredible selection of high-quality, lab-grown, and natural diamonds made creating that special ring easy. Her reaction?
I love it. Can't wait to tell everybody.
Everybody might know about it.
Be like Brady. Create the ring of your dreams at a Helzberg near you or at Helzberg.com. Ask now about special financing offers.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Not only do we have lower rates, but with our lock-in shop program, we can lock you in at the perfect time and protect that rate for up to a year while you search for your dream home. Then in the future, if rates come down, with a simple refinance, we can lower that monthly payment. Everything starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Home in the 10-day closing guarantee.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
To beat back winter weather, you got to plan and prepare to win, because good labor is hard to find. Get ready with the new Boss Snow Raider. It's the ultimate sidewalk solution and the new standard for on-the-job productivity. With the Boss Snow Raider, you'll be more equipped to tackle wintry sidewalks than ever before. Keep them open with a Boss Snow Raider. Now in stock and ready to rock. Boss, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to simplify your purchases while earning unlimited cash back? Well, Forum Credit Union's Unlimited Cashback Credit Card is for you. No more redeeming points or cap rewards. Forum's card pays you unlimited cash for every purchase every month automatically. Plus, make secure mobile payments, contactless purchases, and get real-time spending alerts so you can stay on top of your expenses.
It's the perfect card for everyday items and monthly subscriptions. Visit forumcu.com to apply for your card today or stop by any Forum location. Again, for info, forumcu.com today.
Thad Matta is back as Butler University's men's basketball coach, and single-game tickets for Hinkle Fieldhouse this season are on sale now. Matta has reshaped the team's roster and recommitted these Bulldogs to the Butler way. The Dogs are pushing to sell out Thad's first game November 7th versus New Orleans and need you there. 4-game packages are also available starting at just $65. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets to get your seats. Be part of Coach Matta's return. Get to Hinkle this season.
College football coverage this Saturday on The Fan is brought to you by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your trusted independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The Ride with JMV.
You take drugs, Danny? Every day. Good. So what's the problem? I don't know.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. What's happening on West 56th? Presented by Shelby Materials, the concrete and aggregate experts. We'll find out in 30 seconds.
Do you want to work for a company who has your back? You can count on Shelby Materials. Shelby Materials has 10 ready-mix locations in central Indiana and is looking for Class B CDL drivers. Highlights include being home every night and every other weekend off during peak season. Shelby Materials stands behind its work, products, and people. We support our employees with competitive wages and benefits, including 401k, PTO, paid holidays, HSA, and a sign-on bonus. Learn more about your next opportunity by visiting shelbymaterials.com.
Now, what's happening on West 56th? Brought to you by Shelby Materials, the concrete and aggregate experts.
Yeah, this was the Jim Irsay quote from earlier today. You've got to stand for something. Mellencamp, 1985. Highly underrated album, I think, of his collection. Scarecrow. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, joins us. What do you think about Scarecrow from the Mellencamp collection album-wise? Is that right up there for you?
Oh, man. I sort of get lost in the discology, if you will, or the recordology. What year would that have been? That was
85, brother. 85 was Scarecrow.
That's him. That's the cover of that album's him like chilling on a fence post.
It is,
right?
yeah. I used to do that a lot back in the day. Just chilled right there in my jean jacket on a fence post.
Come over here and take my picture as I lean on this fence post.
It looks like that I have done some work out here. Look at the cows behind me.
Back in the
that's
day,
my backyard
home,
right there. I know that's probably Jackson County and Monroe County. That's not too far from where I grew up. But yeah, the most noted song from that album is "Small Town." So
yeah,
that's
like the picture. That's iconic with Damon Bailey. Remember Damon Bailey was like resting up against that sign that says where's he from?
Heltonville, Indiana.
Heltonville, Indiana, just outside of Bedford.
You know, it's funny. After that song was released at 85, it probably even went into the 2000s. Anytime that there was a sports story or really any type of story regarding Indiana, that song would play beneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So anything. I was born in a small town. So
I've always argued. I mean, he's from Seymour, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Seymour like the 7th biggest city in the state?
Is it? You'll have to look that up, Kyle. I'm not sure about that. The 7th? Seymour?
I mean, I know it's like, I mean, the song is about a small town. He depicts a small town with like one stoplight and, you know, everybody knows each other and there's one diner and
well, he grew up in a different Seymour, though. He grew up in the 60s, late 60s Seymour. So the Walmart distributing center wasn't there yet or anything. They still had the hen house.
Yeah.
The hen house coffee shop was still there.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that. I mean, the song was written, 40 years ago. No, I'll give you that. But I'm fairly certain that Seymour is in the top 15 in terms of population in the state of Indiana right now.
I'm going to check in with our population expert Kyle Udemark across from me right here in studio. Where is it ranked, Seymour?
It is not top 15. I'm still scrolling. I might have to do a Control F search.
Oh my! Not even top 15, man.
45.
It's 45th.
45.
Yeah. Give me some names of towns that's larger than Seymour that would surprise us, Kyle.
It takes me like 30 minutes to drive through Seymour.
That's because they got some spread out stoplights right there if you're on US 50. Yeah, that's true.
Right above Clarksville, LaPorte, Munster, Greenfield, Franklin, Marion, Hobart, Brownsburg. Yeah.
See, there you go.
You say Franklin's more populous than Seymour?
Yep. By 3,000 people.
Hey, man, the more you know. See what you learn on this show? The more you know.
That's an absolute tangent on my part, and I apologize for that.
Yeah. Listen, I know that we're going to talk football, but obviously I do want to bring up what Jim Irsay had to say yesterday too. And I'd kind of, you don't have to fair in an opinion if you don't want to. I get it, but I had mentioned this. He looked to me, he wants to be viewed as that lead guy or a lead guy that you can go to for all things NFL within the ownership. That was one of the aspects that struck me yesterday.
Well, I mean, yeah, I certainly, I'm not informed on all this, to be honest with you. I mean, I know there's an investigation going on with Daniel Snyder. And, obviously as an owner, Jim Irsay knows more about the brotherhood or the fraternity, if you will, of NFL owners more so than I do. But here's what I will say. I mean, he's obviously he has a formed opinion. It's an educated opinion. And so he feels that it's warranted. But on top of that, and this is just an observation on my part, there's outside of Daniel Snyder and Jim Irsay, there are still 30 other NFL owners. And, I don't, unless something's happened in the last, 6 minutes since we've been talking here, I haven't seen anything from any other owners publicly. And so to me, that to me sort of, that silence speaks volumes. That there hasn't been anybody that's come out and sort of denounced Jim Irsay's opinion on
No
this.
doubt.
So that's just an observation on my part. But again, the investigation is still ongoing, and Jim Irsay again feels it very strongly to come out and say something and to be sort of the leader of a push that he feels needs to be made, and we'll see how it all unfolds. But there's no doubt now that there's going to be a lot more eyeballs and maybe a higher viewership on that game in 2 weeks between the Colts and the Commanders. There's the Carson Wentz angle, but now there's this, off the field as well between the two owners.
Yeah, you know what? And I downplayed that a little bit. You know what I mean? I kind of downplayed it. I'm thinking, I think the storyline, if Wentz were playing, would certainly be there, for the crowd and getting everybody amped up. But I think the whole owner thing, to me, I would give that more of a backseat, I guess, than they'll be talked about. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the shows will be talking about it. But I think as far as, being a line of interest for those fans going to be in that building, probably not too much compared to the game.
That's right. I mean, once we get to like Saturday night and Sunday day of the game, and certainly once the football's kicked off, then it's just a football game. And they're all going to be important games from here on out for the Colts. I mean, especially if they can't get the job done on Sunday against Tennessee, then the margin for error is razor thin for this team if they want to make a playoff push and get back into contention to win the AFC South, and then they'd have to have some things go their way, with other teams losing down the stretch. But no, that's a really important game. And then you've got the quarterback situation there with Wentz and now these two owners. But, I think 99% of your audience probably doesn't care about two billionaires squabbling. They just want to watch football. They want to see the Colts win.
And they want to see exactly what they caught for the most part in the second half. And by the way, Matt Taylor joins us. Shout out on the call. And the Colts, your digital staff, put together a great video short of that final call, that touchdown pass to Alec Pierce. And that was outstanding. And the best supporting actor playing the role of your radio color analyst every single week is Rick Venturi with his arms raised, signaling touchdown was outstanding.
That's Rick, man. Like that's stoic Rick Venturi.
Yeah.
He's a coach, and he watches with a critical eye, but at the end of the day, he's a fan too, and he wants to see this team win, and he's going to rejoice when they do, because he puts a lot of time and effort and energy, into the calls and trying to make the broadcast sound good. So, yeah, that was incredibly cool. I've seen some other teams do that, and I just sort of pitched the idea as we've had some big moments prior to Sunday. Even you had the Jelani Woods touchdown with under 30 seconds to go against Kansas City. You had the Stephon Gilmore, great defensive play on Thursday night. I was like, let's just put a camera up there, a GoPro, and see what we get. And then if we get something good, maybe we'll turn something into it. And it's been fun to see the reaction from that post, because it is cool to, pull back the curtain a little bit, let people look into the radio booth, because I know we've got a lot of fun, or have a lot of fun up there. We put a lot of work into it. So it was cool to let other people see, how the dynamic works, on game day inside the booth.
Hey, it was awesome. I mean, it really was. Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts, joins us. Colts down in Nashville coming up on Sunday. And, of course, we'll lead you up to countdown to kickoff. And then the game call with Matt and Rick and Lara coming up on Sunday again down in Nissan Stadium in Nashville. What was interesting about that final pass play? I talked about this on Monday. That touchdown that salted things away was all that took place after the snap of the football. I mean, you saw pressure. You saw Ryan get hit low, still deliver the football perfectly. And maybe the best part about that was the hand fighting that was going on between Shaquille Griffin and Alec Pierce going down the field. And then Pierce got that final swipe and then that separation speed that the football was right in his hands, delivered perfectly too. There was so much going on that play just outside of the pass and catch itself.
Yeah, and I think the Colts were sort of salivating there once they saw that Griffin was going to be playing, man-to-man or press man-to-man.
Yeah.
And that's the matchup they wanted. I think they sort of changed that play, or changed the route before the snap based on the coverage. And, that's, to Alec Pierce's credit, that's where he's been at his best this year. And you can't say that about a lot of rookies. I mean, that's where these first-year wide receivers tend to struggle. And that's the biggest difference for a lot of guys from college football to the NFL. And Shaq Griffin's not, this guy was a really good football player in Seattle, and he still is with the Jaguars. That's a really good corner. And Alec Pierce beat him when the game was on the line and scored a touchdown on a very, very good defender. And so, that's what is most encouraging about Alec Pierce. You can say, yeah, he's got 18 catches for almost 275 yards in the last 4 games. But it's how the catches come, and it's when they come. He had the big 3 catches on the last drive of regulation in Denver. A lot of trust from Matt Ryan.
And you had Matt, he goes to get him too, man. Sorry to interrupt, but he goes to get he doesn't wait for the ball to come to him. He goes to get the ball.
No doubt. And so that's what is most impressive about him. He looks like a 4-year guy, not a 4-game guy. And he just seems like all of them. Jelani Woods, throw him in there, Kylan Granson, Michael Pittman Jr., Paris Campbell. It looks like all of these guys are starting to settle in, and these moments, in pressure-packed situations in the fourth quarter, crunch time, it's not too big for this team. So you'd love for them to not be in those situations where they'd be up 2 scores late in the game and sort of assault the game away. But it's good to know you've got that ability, and not every team's got that ability, to sort of come through when it's, when the lights are brightest, if you will. But no, Alec Pierce has a lot of trust from Matt Ryan, and that throw was a thing of beauty, and that it was an even better catch. And, what a great moment so far in the early season for the Colts.
Deon Jackson's on the show coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Any interesting tidbits? Because I don't think he's ever been on. I don't know how much outside. I know he's probably talked to you guys before. Anything stand out with the backup running back who in the past 2 games has done a really good job?
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. I actually talked to him today, interviewed him today. he grew up in Atlanta. I'm sure, I don't know if you know this, you probably do because it's out there, but he grew up in Atlanta, and the high school that he went to, they must have a really big budget for commencement speakers, because I think some actors and some high profile athletes, including Matt Ryan, gave the commencement speech at Deon Jackson's high school graduation. And then here they are 5 years later, and they're teammates, and he's scoring touchdowns and catching 10 passes in a game from a 15-year veteran. So pretty cool story there. And he also said that with all the recognition that he got between fantasy football, scoring a touchdown, and then the Good Morning Football show on NFL Network, they have that Angry Runs bit. He won that this week as well. So between all of that, he had like 450 either text messages or direct messages on Twitter from people, hitting him up and congratulating him on a great game and great plays, and people thanking him for their, fantasy football victories for the things that he did stat wise. So he's a really humble guy, good guy, and he's, as we always say, he's always been one or two plays away from being the guy. And the last two games, he was the dude, and he came through, and the moment wasn't too big for him.
And Matt, I know in closing here, it's easier said than done offensively, but even with the return of the guys essentially he was playing for because of injury, you think he's solidified himself here, at least in the short term, to maybe getting a couple of opportunities, a couple of snaps that he would not have received before proving himself in the last two games?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I still think I think that one's going to be tough, because I think if you have a healthy Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, and by the way, I think both guys did practice today, so they're trending on being back after missing, virtually the last two games with Hines going out early in Denver. But I still think, I don't know. I don't know if he's, Deon Jackson's a really good football player, but still I think Jonathan Taylor qualifies as a guy that you don't want to relinquish carries to somebody else. He's just that good. I mean, he proved that last year. But I will say this for Deon Jackson, that he's a guy that has absolutely solidified his place on this roster, going forward throughout the remainder of his rookie contract. And he still has 2 more years after this year. I mean, if you saw him in training camp, well, first of all, he plays on special teams and contributes that way. So he does add value in the third phase of the game, but he runs very hard. And I think he runs, similarly, if you will. I'm not saying they're the same player at all, but they run similarly. He does that to that of Jonathan Taylor. And that's why I think he's assimilated nicely and meshed in nicely with this offense in the running game. Now, I know they haven't busted out 150 yards rushing in the last 2 games. They haven't exploded as far as that's concerned, but he's been able to run like Jonathan Taylor, and so it's not foreign to the offensive line blocking for him, and it's not uncomfortable for Frank Reich to dial up runs that he would for Jonathan Taylor, now going to Deon Jackson. So, he's definitely earned his place, but I think once Taylor comes back, you still want to ride that horse. He's still going to be your guy in the running game. And I think he's going to be close to, having a big production game, big stat game like he did all of 2021.
So Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts. By the way, I'm assuming he played football with Jamari Saylor, who is a starter on that offensive line with the Chargers.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'll have to ask him that. I'll have to ask him that. I don't know. I'm assuming they at some point did, but I just looked up that high school, and that's Saylor was at that high school. Wendell Carter Jr., who's an NBA player, attended that high school. And Michael Barrett, the former catcher, I believe with the Cubs, most notably back in the day, was.
Yeah, he said he went to high school with a lot of Arthur Blank's kids. They go to school there too.
Okay,
he's the owner of the Falcons. So I think that's where a lot of that. I think it must be a pretty good school. Obviously, if you can deduce that from. The background, if you will.
And attended Duke, so that makes sense.
I asked him today, I said, I know he played football at Duke, but I said, how weird is it going to be to watch Duke basketball without Coach K? And he's like, I completely forgot about that. He's like, I only went to 2 basketball games in 4 years. I'm like, what? What are we doing?
He doesn't go wait out there in a tent for 3 days.
Yeah, but, I mean, he can get student tickets somehow, being the stud running back on the football team.
You would think so, yeah. You would think so.
Yeah.
Not a lot of room in there. Hey, great call. Great in call on Sunday. And have a fantastic time rest of the week. And then down in Nashville, and we'll see if maybe they found a little something execution-wise offensively from this past Sunday. Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man. Be good.
You too. Matt Taylor on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break. Kevin Bowen, top of the hour. Deon Jackson in the 5 o'clock hour. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. Jump in there. We'll have a conversation and what you can win if you head to Nashville coming up on Sunday or this weekend. I'll tell you about that coming up.
People who shop at Diamonds Direct for diamonds and engagement rings can't believe the prices.
They blew everybody else out of the water.
I saved between $1,500 and $2,000. Came here first, got a really good price, went around everywhere else, and it wasn't really even close.
I'd looked online. I'd actually shopped a couple of local stores. They could not begin to touch the size, the quality, or the pricing.
Crazy the deal that we got. Couldn't believe I was able to get into a ring like this.
Of all the places that I visited, everybody from mom and pop shops to wholesalers to local franchisees, nobody could compete from a pricing standpoint with Diamonds Direct.
It's because Diamonds Direct is a true direct diamond importer with special access to the world's most exquisite diamonds, no middleman markups, and a commitment to beat any price, anywhere, anytime.
Whether it be duty-free in the Caribbean or other countries, Diamonds Direct prices have beaten everything I've looked at.
At least 20% lower than what we had been looking at other stores.
They blew everybody else out of the water.
Get the engagement ring of her dreams at the price you deserve. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. DiamondsDirect.com.
Let's get you a new set of wheels at Andy Moore Buick GMC. Talk to my friend Eric Wilson about that today. But a brand new GMC Acadia. You will love that ride. They have so much more. The inventory, the pricing, and the service after the sale is unmatched. Let's go hassle-free for that new vehicle that you're looking for right now at Indiana's best. Tell Eric Wilson I sent you to Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st, State Road 37 in Fishers.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent, but then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try Babbel for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, it's Johnny for Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic. Yes, a couple of former Hoosier basketballers got with me because I talked about struggling with snoring, hijacking my bed rest. We can do something about that, they said. I said, tell me more. It's an affordable, easy, very simple, and comfortable mouthpiece. You wear it at night. What happens? Your snoring stops. And it did, too. So if you know somebody that's snoring, and it hurts their bed rest, or if that person is you, let's do something about it. StopYourSnoreNow.com. Go ahead and get yourself a private consultation and get on the road to getting a great night's sleep again at Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic. Tell them I sent you. StopYourSnoreNow.com.
BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, unleashes the spirit of Las Vegas with BetMGM rewards. Every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM rewards points that you can then redeem for online bonus credits like free bets. It's never been easier to join the action on the new BetMGM app, featuring a fresh redesign with improved features and quicker navigation. Planning a trip to Vegas? You can also convert your BetMGM points into MGM rewards points that you can use towards dining, shows, and hotel rooms at over 20 MGM properties located on the Las Vegas Strip and nationwide. BetMGM Rewards is sports betting's premier loyalty program, including exclusive offers, incredible experiences, and valuable perks when you wager with BetMGM. Sign up with BetMGM or log in today to take advantage of BetMGM rewards. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's JMV, and guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for just $155 a month, cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of a home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
If you could bottle this,
Smith can shoot the three and hits the three.
Everyone will want some. That's the kind of energy flowing around Pacers Nation. We are roaring.
Here's another three. Twitching!
We are ready to rise and show the world what we're about.
And here's Turner hammering it down.
We are revved up.
Opening week presented by Kroger tips off on Wednesday, October 19th with an opening night gold out against the Wizards. Get tickets now at Pacers.com.
Caesars Sportsbook. Download that app today. The Caesars Sportsbook app. Use the promo code RADIOFULL, RADIOFULL. Going to get that first bet risk-free. You place that bet. If you don't win, that's okay because you're going to get that stake back in site credit. Colts, Titans coming up this weekend. Utilize that or just so many of the other options and go with the best. And that is Caesars Sportsbook. Download that app today. And again, use that promo code RADIOFULL. Caesars Sportsbook is the best because they offer stuff that nobody else can. I'm talking about Caesars Rewards, tickets, free stays, experiences, and more. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app. Do that today. Open to new users in Indiana who are 21 years or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned to site credit. You got to use that within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstart batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Thursday on Kevin and Query, we recap night one of the Pacers season. The Colts have their first practice of the week. And anything else from those owners' meetings? Join us for the fun at 7 a.m. right here on The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Just an average guy with exceptional hair.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
So I mentioned this. If you're going to go, I'm going to give you a chance coming up next hour. If you're going to Nashville and you really want to invade a Titans tailgate, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that, right? I guess even if you're not going and you just want to go down there to pregame party, I guess you can essentially do that as well. But I'm going to give you a chance with our friends from BullseyeEventGroup.com to win those and to do that coming up next hour. So be listening for that. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live as well, the stream and the app. Thank you so much for listening. Deon Jackson, Colts running back, and his story, of which you have not heard. That's coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. But on the other side, from Kevin and Query, Kevin Bowen steps in, the latest on Jim Irsay, what he had to say yesterday. The Colts match up in Week 7 in Tennessee, and the Pacers open up the season at Gainbridge Fieldhouse tonight against Washington. It's Kevin Bowen with us next.
In the construction business and can't find what you need? Quality Supply and Tool has served Hoosiers for over a quarter of a century. Tom Hawk is the branch manager of the Indy location on South Harding Street.
We've always been big on keeping our shelves fully stocked of inventory of industrial-grade tools, concrete, masonry products, as well as the necessary accessories to help get the job done. You don't have it, you can't sell it. Our experience allows us to help with getting the pros as well as the weekend pro taken care of.
Quality Supply and Tool also has locations in Bloomington and Jeffersonville to help you think outside the box. Store.
Hey, shouting for LD Smith Plumbing. Shout out to Elizabeth. You want to know why? I've had a little bit of leakage today. I've had a little bit of seeping going on today. A little spurting, a little leakage. And I have to have the greatness that is Lance and his local team come out. And tell you, always the best, always there for any emergency. You know, I used to freak out about stuff like this regarding plumbing, but I no longer do when it comes to LD Smith Plumbing, the absolute best. Call them today if you have any plumbing needs whatsoever. 317-927-7186. Again, 317-927-7186. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. And then ask for Elizabeth and tell her that I sent you for all of your plumbing needs online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Helzberg Diamonds presents The Guy Who Was the MVP. Craig was proposing to his girlfriend and needed the perfect ring, so he asked her friends for some advice.
Get yourself to Helzberg.
Yep, Craig went to Helzberg Diamonds. He learned that Helzberg's been in business for over 100 years. That means quality. And with their price match guarantee, he'd get a great deal and find the perfect ring.
Wow, it's perfect. Oh, yeah.
MVP, most valuable proposer. Be like Craig. Find the ring of her dreams at a Hellsberg Diamonds near you or at Hellsberg.com.
John for PAI, real growing hair again. It's just a snap. Phone call away, 888-724-5129. If you want real, incredible lettuce, flowing lockage like you see right now via YouTube Live inside the lounge like mine, let's do something about it. You have options, 888-724-5129. Talk to Darren Andrews. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
What up, world? This is your boy Kevin Hart, a.k.a. the comedic rock star. And guess what? I'm coming to a city near you with my new tour, Reality Check. And we are adding shows, doing it big. Brand new hour material, big laughs, big energy. Make sure you're in the building. Don't miss your chance to get your tickets.
Don't miss Kevin Hart Reality Check Tour this Sunday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Get tickets now.
Go to KevinHartNation.com now.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
It's a Music Makes a Difference concert from our sister station 97.1 Hank FM, starring Joe Nichols.
Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall.
Thompson Square.
You gonna kiss me all night.
And Easton Corbin.
Be my love song. Baby, be my
Thursday, October 20th at 8 Second Saloon. Tickets start at just $15 and benefits the Franciscan Health Foundation. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Why do I like being a jewelry consultant at Shane Company? It's fun. I get to talk with everyone, people from all walks of life. Whatever you've got going on, a birthday, anniversary, new baby, or just because, fine jewelry is an awesome gift to give. And we have something unique in every price range, backed up with a free lifetime warranty. At Shane Company, we take every step to ensure that our jewelry is the highest quality. And we continually improve our styles, even the classics, like our diamond stud earrings. Ours are simply the best pair of studs in town. The diamonds are stunning, hand-selected for their beauty and hand-matched for consistency. We have studs in every price range, different metals, and 4 diamond shapes to choose from. The classic round shape, an oval shape, princess cut, and cushion cut. We even pay attention to the earring backs to make sure they're extra secure. Visit us for a lasting, memorable gift.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Pacers open the regular season against the Washington Wizards this evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts, with us earlier. Always good to talk to Matt. Great call, by the way. And the Colts put together some fantastic video with that call earlier this week. That was the game, basically the game assaulting away touchdown pass from Matt Ryan to Alec Pierce on Sunday against Jacksonville. Matt joined us a little bit earlier. Deon Jackson of the Colts going to be here coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, but on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now. From the morning show, Kevin and Query, weekday morning, 7 until 10 a.m. Kevin Bowen, he does join us. And I know I was talking about this yesterday, that news, and Jim Irsay's outspokenness all kind of came together in the 5 o'clock hour. First, I want to ask you what you think, and then I want you to play off of this. Because this is more of an educated opinion, I guess, than it is anything else. But I think there's an aspect with what Jim Irsay had to say yesterday and being the lone owner to step up and say anything regarding Daniel Snyder, the Commanders owner, and what is going on right now. I think, to me, that Jim Irsay would like to take more of an active leadership role among those owners? I'm not suggesting that's the only reason why he did what he did yesterday, because I'm assuming he has some deeply rooted thoughts and beliefs as to what led him down that path. But I do think that he wants to be known as more of one of the leaders in NFL ownership, and I think we saw that yesterday. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think it's a good point. I guess I'll start there. I think he wants to be he has an extreme reverence for the history of the NFL, for the history of ownership in the league. I mean, you won't go through a Jim Irsay press conference without him mentioning George Halas or the Hunts or the Rooneys or, whoever you want to throw into that group, and mentioning how, they were at his wedding and, he's been around them for so long and all of that. So I think what you saw yesterday, part of what you saw yesterday, obviously it was a very thought out and very calculated, frankly, what he was doing. But I think part of it was, I'm defending the shield. And I know that, that can kind of sound as like a bit of a fluff statement, but I think Irsay holds that in high regard. I think he holds the history of the NFL in high regard. And I think he believes that Daniel Snyder attacked the entire ownership group, and some of the reports out there from ESPN and, calling the ownership group kind of a mafia and they all hate each other and all those quotes that were in the ESPN piece last week. As far as what Irsay did, I have an immense amount of respect for what he did. I think in society, frankly, particularly in the NFL, but I think in society, it's fair to say that oftentimes, like, people in positions of authority, sometimes their voices are needed to create change and realize that people that are also in positions of authority cannot just get away with things because they have fame and money. And I think it was necessary for an owner to speak up, for the warning shot to be sent, for the media nationally to really get behind it. And I'm sure today there were conversations at those league meetings in New York directly because of what Jim Irsay said yesterday. And I thought, he said it in a very tactful, smart way of like, if these allegations are true, then it merits consideration of removing Daniel Snyder as owner. And I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's pretty much what he said. And I think that is exactly spot on. This is a very public warning shot in that just because you are an owner, just because you have money, does not mean that these actions under your watch, some accusations directly towards Daniel Snyder, but more so organizationally, workplace culture, et cetera, that's not acceptable. And again, I just feel like in too many of these situations across different industries, people of authority just get away with it. And the fact that you had someone that is a peer of Daniel Snyder speak up about it in a public manner creates attention. And at some point, it will create a big decision for the owners if these allegations are indeed true.
So Kevin Bowen joins us. I also felt that, to me, again, this is an educated opinion here, but I kind of felt that he probably took the temperature of the room with a lot of his owners as well. And because if you don't have basically close to a lot of, hey, you know what, you're absolutely right. Hey, if you want to do this, go ahead and do it. If you don't have that, you probably don't do it, right? So he probably did have that temperature taken for the room in this case in New York.
Yeah, I would assume so. I also think this, John. I feel like, and I don't know, maybe the arrest in 2014 has opened up his eyes a little bit more.
I don't have any question. I think there's a lot of it. And Kev, I'm sorry to interrupt you because I want you to play off of this as well because I was thinking about something similar. That's what I mentioned. I think he wants to become more of a leader in ownership in the NFL, and I think it's what you're talking about, Kev. I think it's maybe being the kid that took over for the owner, and this is, he's just, kind of, gets that in his lap, and he wasn't known as, one of those go-to guys as far as, what the future of the NFL is going to be. And I think he wants a lot of that moving forward now, and that may have not been something that he had wanted years ago. You make a good point.
Yeah, and I also think, and he mentioned this yesterday, but I think it's been really relevant over the past few years now that his daughters, and in particular Carly, his oldest, and Kaylin, his youngest, have taken on a little bit more of a front-facing role with the organization. He mentioned his 13-year-old granddaughter being at training camp this past August, and whether it's having 3 daughters, whether it's having 7 granddaughters, I think the accusations at hand with Daniel Snyder, I think just mean more to him. And I think any father of a girl probably feels that way. And whether it was Kaylin kind of igniting some of the Kicking the Stigma campaign and wanting her dad to help her out and being such a public voice in that and public face in that, I think that is very fresh on his mind and has been very relevant. And again, I think a lot of this dates back to 2014, and that, if this is 2005, I don't know if Jim Irsay does this. And maybe that's me speaking out of turn, but
I agree.
Those are some of my thoughts about all of it. And I think it just naturally, I think of how society has evolved a bit with these, and that some of these stories have become a little bit more prominent. And again, when you are the father of 3 girls and you have the granddaughters and you're seeing them around the organization and you're seeing a once very revered franchise in Washington become much more of a laughingstock, I think some of that plays into it as well.
Does this add any juice other than the pregame storyline in a couple of weeks when the Commanders are here? Or is it just kind of end there?
That's a good question. I'm sure the NFL loves that it was a 425 kick to begin with, and that it will have a few more national eyes on it. I mean, selfishly, I really wanted to see Carson Wentz.
Me too.
Play in this
I would rather have that than I would have this storyline.
Definitely. I'm all for storylines, entertainment.
Yeah.
For a guy in Carson Wentz that is on probably the edge of the cliff, if you will, with his NFL career, and what a huge moment that would be for him. And I was just curious to see how he would react to all of that. I suggested, earlier today that, maybe instead of Tart Glenn's Ring of Honor ceremony, you push that out a few weeks and just bring out the octagon for Irsay and Daniel Snyder at halftime a week from Sunday. I'm sure deep down it adds a little something for Irsay, and Daniel Snyder, of course. But outside of that, I can't say that Ron Rivera's pregame speech will be including a "let's go win one for the owner" inside the visiting locker room.
Yeah, I do. I completely agree. I think, to me, I would rather have the former quarterback actually playing to have something there on the field than just This is, to me, is going to be a storyline. There'll probably be camera shots inside, the owner's suites, and that'll be about it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And again, obviously, the Wentz implications are far greater than just him being out there from a entertainment storyline going back to that place and the Irsay comments in the offseason. You obviously have the draft pick storyline with it as well. But, yeah, like you said, outside of a few owner shots, which I don't know, maybe I feel like they don't really show Irsay much during games, at least at Lucas Oil Stadium. I would assume that that'll be a little bit more prevalent a week from Sunday, finding the visiting box and finding Irsay's box.
Kevin Bowen in the morning show is with us. So what aspects, if not totally what we saw offensively that was implemented in that mini bye week, do you think will carry over from the Jacksonville win to what we're going to see offensively in that game plan on Sunday in Nashville?
Well, I think you cannot get too far away from the no huddle.
Right there with you.
I get that it's not going to be a weekly success to the tune that you had it on Sunday, but your offense was in such a dire situation, and it wasn't just like one aspect of the offense. It was protection. It was turning the ball over. I thought, honestly, the no huddle created a little bit of a run game, not in the stats, but Deon Jackson, 10 catches for 70-some yards. That was pretty much your run game on Sunday. So I thought it ignited so many different areas of your offense that, again, desperately needed something. That the Frank Reich norm has been no huddle is a very, very individual, weak thing, and it does not become too repetitive. But again, I would argue that you haven't been in such an awful offensive situation and then taken such a 180 that I think it's got to be right there. And I get it, on the road, it might be more difficult to implement considering crowd noise. But I felt like something that just kind of helps you out when you go no huddle, and I think is a perfect example to Sunday. The strength of Tennessee would be their defensive line, in my opinion. Danico Autry and Jeffrey Simmons, who totally wrecked that first matchup here in Indianapolis. Well, if you get to a point in the game on Sunday where Tennessee is rotating defensive linemen at the start of a series, and for some reason Simmons and Autry happen to be on the sideline, what a golden time for the Colts to look down and say, hey, here we go, let's rev it up, let's not sub, and therefore you're keeping one of their best players, again, players that absolutely wrecked the game just a few weeks ago, keep them on the sideline for potentially an entire drive. I think those are some of the situations you can get to and that you need to try and tap into.
I'm there with you. Because to me, I think offensively it's one thing with the execution and the juice and kind of the cohesion that it brought, but I think it helped out the offensive line. And I've been screaming about the shorter pass patterns, more rhythm passing game for a while now with this offensive line playing as bad as it has. And I think that maintains being necessary for this team and this team's possibility of success offensively moving forward. I just do.
Yeah, I think following that Week 2 game against Jacksonville, John, and it probably was a bit of a reluctant thing for Frank Reich and the staff to admit, but at some point after that Jacksonville game, they came together as a staff and said, guys, we can't block them. Like, we cannot block them. Normal offense, we cannot block Jacksonville. And then since that Week 2 matchup down there, you had continued offensive line changes, personnel-wise, continued question marks, arguably even more ugly moments for that group. And so then you thought to them, they thought to themselves, okay, when we see them again in a month, what are we going to do differently? Well, you got the mini bye week, got a little extra time. The Monday, Tuesday, you're not necessarily in full recovery mode from a Sunday game coming off the Thursday nighter. Here's the no huddle, help out the O-line. And again, you are admitting that your offensive line is so broken, you've got to do something very drastic to change up that approach. And, I can totally hear people that are like, why did it take 6 weeks and all that? That's fine. But I think a little bit of credit also needs to say, at least you didn't bang your head against the wall again and continue to think, oh, no, just the normal offense is going to work. Or, we're going to stick with it. It's going to work. Water's going to find its level, all that. They didn't do that. They made a really significant change against a divisional opponent, and it was absolutely necessary, and the success was tremendous.
Yeah, it's funny. I heard on Roundtable Live with Matt on Monday where Frank Reich was kind of doing I told you so to those out there like you and I who are non-believers in that offensive, or I should say that wide receiving group. And what's funny about that is these guys all preach patience. All of our detractors that are Colts fans say you got to be patient. See, I told you so. And you get a sample size of basically one really good half, right, of offense. And now, you take that sample against basically our wide receiving sample is the better part of 5 weeks and the better part of 4 years prior. So you take that game and then I always find that hilarious. I do. Listen, I think Alec Pierce is good. He's going to be good. I think Michael Pittman Jr. is good and going to get better. But I don't think that all of a sudden is I told you so territory out of what we witnessed on Sunday.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that. I did hear that clip, and I did feel like there was probably a little bit of sentiment directed maybe towards yourself or me. And I would say it's to Frank Reich, and I would say it's to Chris Ballard. Anybody want to remind people of Week 1 and Week 2? And I guess that's the issue that I had with Ballard's approach. And I'm paraphrasing here, but Ballard said something to the effect during the offseason of, we're going to wait on our wideouts, and at some point during the season, if we feel like a significant move is needed, then we will make that. But it's a long season. It's 17 games. That sounds great, but when you've lost 8 straight season openers and 7 straight years in Jacksonville, and your schedule shows 2 divisional games right out of the gate, weeks 1 and week 2 really, really matter. And in week 1, you didn't score a touchdown until 7 minutes to go in the game. And unfortunately, you had a big drop from your rookie wideout in that game. You had some mistakes from other wideouts in that game. And I think that was a big reason why you only had 3 points until the final 7 to 8 minutes of that game. And then week 2, you get shut out, and the biggest contribution Paris Campbell, your number 1 wideout in that game, makes is an offensive pass interference penalty in the fourth quarter. Without question, Alec Pierce has exceeded what I thought he would be doing. I thought he could give you some of that go ball stuff, but not to the extent that he's done it this early, and he's responded incredibly well from a huge drop on his first ever NFL target, and then having the concussion and missing week 2. And Campbell, has been healthy so far, and unfortunately you have to throw in that caveat so far. But I just feel like the urgency with just what September means has never really been there under this regime. In a similar way, it was there this offseason in regards to the receiver position. Desmond Patman and Mike Strachan, those guys, well, we saw those guys in week 1 and week 2, and they weren't ready, and they weren't impactful for you. And unfortunately, those are 2 golden missed opportunities with divisional games, and now you're digging yourself out of another hole. And I think that contributed some of it. Would a veteran wideout looking into some of the moves that you've seen an Amari Cooper help out Cleveland, or even a Robert Woods help out Tennessee, those are the type of moves that I think could have really bolstered your group, help continue to grow guys like Pierce and Campbell, and not be overly reliant on them so early in the season.
Hey, Kev, before I move on to the Pacers and their opener against Washington later on tonight, Deon Jackson, I mentioned, is going to join me in the 5 o'clock hour. Do you think that he has, with the injuries, and I know these guys are maybe coming back, Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor, has he earned a snap or 2 opportunity even if they do return this weekend?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, going back to Frank Reich's past precedent, he hasn't really involved the third running back very often. And I understand the thinking there. I mean, Jonathan Taylor deserves a whole lot of looks. And as long as Nyheim Hines can catch the football, I mean, he should be able to do what Deon Jackson did. Deon Jackson made some nice plays on Sunday. I don't want to deny that. I think he caught all 10 targets. All of that is great. But, I would hope Nyheim Hines could do that too if asked. And I think he would have been asked to do that had he been healthy. I think the game plan was very much of this is going to be the approach. And, for a while there, it looked like Hines might play in the game on Sunday. So, maybe Jackson deserves a little bit of a look, but just kind of the nature of the position at times, I just feel like it's a pretty replaceable spot, and there are some Deon Jackson moments from a lot of guys around the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hines, hasn't produced, but I don't know if they've maybe asked him to produce to the level that they utilize Jackson. When you're throwing it 58 times on a Sunday, and your running back or your top ball carrier is going to be asked to do a whole lot. So, I'll be curious certainly to see how those 3 are utilized within an offensive game plan. They all practiced today. Hines was full, was not wearing a no-contact jersey, so I would assume he's good to go. But I don't think there's maybe a desperate need to say, here's a dozen touches for Deon Jackson.
So Kevin Bowen with us. Before I let you go, the Pacers home opener, the Pacers opener in general this season, coming up tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and there is certainly a lot of interest going on because there is so much new and so much fresh. How do you think this thing is going to go? And I've asked my audience a number of times, will you hang with this reboot? And they have said yes. How long might it take for this new and fresh feeling to wear off if they consistently, more times than not, have a struggle in this early NBA schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to take a different approach from anybody watching the Pacers. I mean, no one is used to the franchise being so public, even private, I guess, about what this season's going to look like, of the win, loss, over, under, all of that. And I would agree. I mean, there's probably like 0.1% of the fan base that watched Malcolm Brogdon last night. I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love if Malcolm Brogdon was still on this team and the Pacers would have ran it back with, DJ Warren will recover from that foot, or Turner and Sabonis, yay. I think they are very accepting of it. I think the key things they need to see this season is a commitment to the youth, a commitment to playing them, growing them, individual, growth, some pieces starting to be put into place of it's not just Halliburton. There's more around him of, okay, Jalen Smith wasn't just a 20-game, fluke on a 20-win team late last year. Okay, Mathurin continues to look like a really, really legit player. And I also feel like those end-of-game moments from last year's team, I mean, it's not like, definitely there are nights where they got just blown out of the building, but they also were in a lot of games in the fourth quarter. I think it's important to maintain that because, at some point you do have to flip that switch. And a guy like Halliburton, who he's your lead guy right now, he hasn't won very much in the NBA. Really none at all. It's not like he was a big-time winner in college. And I don't want to sound like I'm ripping the guy, but, he, I think, needs to feel some of what it's like end-of-game moments to make the plays on winning teams. I think that's an important balance to try and find. It's not the end-all, be-all, but I do think that's important. But I really think you'll have fans that will be patient, and you will still have a section of the fan base that will complain about wins and say, screw that, I want as high as percentage possible to get that number one overall pick. But I feel like the feeling you have going in tonight from the fan base, I mean, unless it's just like, you win 10 or 12 games and your young guys just look like busts, I really think it'll stay there for quite some time.
Yeah, it's new and it's fresh, but I've reminded people that it's going to be, moments that aren't always related to winning or equate to winning that you're going to have to find embraceable. Because I get everybody, like I was talking to people last night, I was playing hoop last night, and they were saying, hey, what do you think? You think the Pacers, can they squeeze into maybe at least making a run at the postseason? I'm saying, don't even worry about that. You just worry about the fact that you're going to probably have to embrace a lot of what you really wouldn't, some non-winning stuff to get through this, because essentially the winning to what people would really like to see is just not going to be there this year, I don't think, unless we're just absolutely sideswiped by a young group that plays well over what we thought.
Yeah, there's going to be some necessary celebrations for Aaron Nesmith scoring 16 points 3 out of 4 nights.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that celebration. Yeah,
and I get it. That's kind of hard to admit. But those are some of the areas and the strides that you will need to see and hope to see. And obviously at some point, John, probably not until closer to the new year and into February and the deadline is there. But then you're going to have those questions come up about, okay, what about Buddy Hield? What about Miles Turner? Daniel Tice isn't even playing tonight. Is he sitting out because they're just going to trade him at any point? Kind of been an odd situation here with him. But I know it sounds good in mid-October. I'd like to think that the overwhelming majority of Pacers fans that I've heard from seem to be totally content with the plan and very accepting of it. You will need to see some strides in that direction, but I don't think they will be a throw-in-the-towel moment unless, again, just Mathurin looks horrific and, they win 8 games or 10 games or something just god-awful.
I can't imagine the Lakers don't decide, because Rob Pelinka at some point is going to feel like, he may feel like that right now and probably should, that he's going to be in trouble. If you watch them last night and then look at their roster, have you looked at their bench, the Lakers bench? It is incredible.
As you know, John, I'm a diehard Notre Dame basketball fan. Matt Ryan, and this is not the quarterback Matt Ryan, the white shooter for the Lakers who went to several colleges, Matt Ryan, including Notre Dame. He couldn't get on the floor in South Bend. Mike Bray can find a role for you if you can put the ball in the bucket, and he couldn't play there. And now all of a sudden, I would consider him a critical piece to the Lakers doing whatever they think they can do this season from a win-loss
Second most minutes off the bench last night to Kendrick Nunn. Yeah, Ryan had 18 minutes off the bench. And if you're looking at their bench, and really if you're looking, they have 3 dudes and Beverly and Walker. There is no way they're not making some sort of substantial deal. There's no way they're not going to move off their position of not wanting to give up another number 1. No way.
Right. And you would think, I mean, the Pacers obviously will be sitting there waiting for them at that point. And, you know, I think it's probably smart for the Pacers to see who else enters the desperation category because, you know, you get to early February and teams that maybe thought they weren't going to be there are now there, or injuries happen. And maybe what you thought, you know, the Lakers are going to offer you, maybe you're now looking at 2 or 3 trade packages that look a whole lot different. And then honestly, and I know we're up against it, John, and this obviously plays right into you, but I am very curious to see what we see from Turner in just the alone minutes at the 5, a huge contract year for a guy that's never hit free agency. He's battled injuries each of the last 2 years. He's playing with the ideal pass first point guard, all of those things. I'm very, very interested.
18 and 11 until the All-Star break. What do you think? Averages.
Oh, boy.
18 and 11.
11 seems a little rich. So does 18. I'll go 15 and 8.
I'm living large. 18 and 11. And I want everybody bringing it to me. Yeah, I'm going to listen. I've hung in here the entirety of the time. I'm going to hang in to the bitter end.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in.
You have lived and died. Honestly, Mr. Turner should invite you to a game with how you've hung in there. And it's kind of been a Pacers ritual for me. Usually at the end of games, depending on how Turner plays, I sometimes like to scroll through JMV's mentions. So I'll start that back up tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fat dudes in there telling me how much I suck and how much he sucks and stuff. I'm thinking, all right, yeah, that's a good idea. He would stuff you in a trash can in 5 minutes there, nerd. So, no, honestly, I will go to the end with it. You know, we've been here this long. We might as well play it out to the end. So, what we're going to do. All right, Kev, I appreciate you more than you know. Enjoy the game later on tonight, and I'm sure you guys will be yakking it up. And you're getting ready to get a European vacation from your colleague in the morning, too, aren't you?
I know. European Jake, I know. Boy, can only imagine all the different European soaps he's going to buy when he's over there and make sure he comes back smelling all fresh and everything. Yeah, he's heading out. Gosh, I want to say, is it the end of next week?
Do they have spray tanners? They have spray tanners in Barcelona?
Boy, maybe
assuming
fly
so,
over to Ibiza and check that out. Yeah, he's going to have to make sure he gets a nice coat on before he heads over.
Take it easy, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, see you, John.
It's Bowen on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline. Let me take a break and we'll come back. Deon Jackson to the Colts in the 5 o'clock hour inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Coming up next, I'm going to send somebody, not send you, I guess you're going to have to send yourself, but I do have a couple of passes for you to invade a Titans tailgate coming up on Sunday down in Nashville. I'll explain further and give somebody a chance to win coming up on the other side. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but you hate the paint? Well, do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a 2-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
No paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
John here for BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Out of town in Nashville this weekend, but back at home versus the Commanders a Sunday after. You want to be a part of the best pregame party ever. All you can eat, all you can drink. You're going to be entertained by Helicon and Skids inside the Bullseye Event Center right across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. It is awesome. Makes your game day experience the absolute best. Fest, so make sure you got your passes for that. And remember, also make sure you're a part of that Vegas trip. It's a destination thing coming up in the month of November. You're going to get tickets to the Raiders and the Colts game in Vegas, a Vegas-style Colts VIP tailgate, a stay at Caesars Palace, flight to and from. Check it out and sign up today for that weekend blast in Vegas with bullseyeeventgroup.com.
At Eskenazi Health, our patients are treated with compassion and skill. That's why Eskenazi Health is looking for professionals who share our mission and are dedicated to serving the community. As an employee of Indiana's top hospital for social responsibility and community health investment, you'll enjoy excellent benefits, competitive pay, and unwavering leadership support. Learn more about Eskenazi Health careers online at eskenazihealth.edu/careers.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The days of multiple offers are behind us, and it's officially a buyer's market. And although interest rates are a little higher than they were this time last year, the lower sale price should more than make up for it. And when rates do come back down, we can always do a simple refinance to lower your monthly payment. Marry the house, date the rate. thehomeloanexpert.com, home of the 10-day closing guarantee. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, guys, you ask me all the time, how do you get such an incredibly high level of testosterone? And I say, hey, it's just me. But no, seriously, I have gone to the Low T Center, and it's not just because of the incredibly high level, the bubbling over levels of testosterone. It's about overall men's health, all of my numbers, because the Low T Center, they exclusively specialize in complete men's wellness, and that's what we should all care about. Hey, I dig on the high levels of testosterone, and so will you, but we're talking about everything in men's wellness. It's affordable, convenient at the Low T Center, and they have treatment including monitored self-inject that ships directly to your door. So make your health a priority and schedule that annual health assessment with the Low T Center. It's covered by most health insurance, or it's less than $100 cash pay. LowTCenter.com today to book that appointment online. That's LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Start a new career with a job that keeps your community safe. The Marion County Sheriff, Carrie Forrestal, is hiring detention deputies to work in the brand new Community Justice Center. You'll supervise and guard offenders, making Marion County a better place to live. Starting pay begins at around $40,000 a year with a $5,000 signing bonus. Enjoy great benefits like complete health coverage and pension plan. Start your career as a detention deputy and earn the respect of your community. Apply today at joinmcso.indy.gov.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and foundations. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Hey, everybody, we've all heard stories from friends and family about something really bad that happened. You're in an accident, there's a painful, life-altering injury, huge medical bills, even wrongful death, all from someone else's fault. Some of you are dealing with it right now. That's where the attorneys at Parr Ritchie Law Firm can help. Tony Patterson, Paul Cruz, and John McLaughlin lead a team with over 70 years of collective courtroom experience and millions of dollars in jury awards and settlements for the clients. Now, none of us can change the past. Just know that Tony, Paul, and John are on your side to help you and your family going forward. They're recognized by super lawyers and U.S. News and World Report as being among the leading injury lawyers in Indiana. Even if you're unsure you have a case, give Parr Ritchie a call. They'll listen and give you their free experience legal opinion. Call 317-269-2509 or visit parrinjury.com. That's PARR injury.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
The Sundown Gardens Big Fall Sale ends Sunday. 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off pottery, 20% off fall decor, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
The Ride with JMV.
Don't read your email, because I'm really butthurt when you read your email.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Fieldhouse, the start of the Pacers season tonight. 6:30, your coverage begins right here. The Pacers opener, they host the Wizards of Washington. Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis. Isn't Monte Morris? Monte Morris had been a big part of what the Nuggets have done in the past. Isn't Monte Morris the point guard? Now with the Wizards? Am I dreaming? Leah Brown saying I'm dreaming inside the lounge via YouTube Live about Miles. You know, again, if I'm going to go out, I might as well go out big here. All right? That is the thought process. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Will Barton, Kyle Kuzma, and Porzingis.
Porzingis always seems to really put it to the Pacers.
And somebody in particular. Not as much as Embiid. But, yeah. I think there's one time, and I have this, I think, in my collection of greatness right there. There's one time when Miles, I think, went off against Philly. I don't remember. It might have been a game in which Embiid wasn't playing. Well, whatever the case. Hachimura, Kispert, a couple of former Zags of Gonzaga, part of that team. I think Daniel Gafford. Trying to reintroduce a lot of you to some of the new and freshness of other rosters just beyond the Pacers coming up later on tonight. Enjoy your time. Sean writes this, Bennedict Mathurin needs to start. Your thoughts? If it doesn't happen now, it'll be relatively soon. I wouldn't worry about it. So I guess my thoughts, I wouldn't worry about it. He's going to have ups and downs. Again, this team, you're going to watch them. And there are going to be nights when you're going to get all excited. Maybe tonight they may come out and look fantastic at home and be juiced. And you're going to go, hey, you know what? Everybody's been talking about this team not being very good. They've been wrong. Then there are going to be nights when you watch them and you're going to go, oh, my goodness, this thing is not on track to do anything. So you probably have to keep yourself a little even keel if you're a Pacers fan. Yeah, I saw this from George Bremer and the injury report. There's a new one on there. I didn't know that Kylan Granson was injured. On that injury report today is Granson. Limited in time in his participation with a neck situation. But Shaquille Leonard was back, Jonathan Taylor was back, Nyheim Hines was back, and our guest in the 5 o'clock hour, Deon Jackson, was back for that matchup in Tennessee. All right, I'm going to try this and see how it works. This would work out better if you already have tickets. So if you're already going to Nashville on Sunday to watch the Colts, this would work out better. But again, if you're not and you just want to go down to hang, maybe try to score some tickets, and maybe be a part of something fun, here's what I have for you. My friends at bullseyeeventgroup.com, I talked to Kyle Kinnett a little bit earlier today, and he said, hey, there is a VIP tailgate that is that of the Titans down in Nashville, right? I think it's called the Bridge Building. Does that make sense to anybody? There's a river right there, so a bridge building would make sense. But it is just an absolute fantastic tailgate. Pretty much a lot of what you see here is what you would see down there. So what we want you to do is we want you to invade the Titans tailgate. So we'll try number 9, or maybe even somebody, probably even better if we find somebody right now that's already going and would have intentions on taking these passes and using them at this VIP tailgate in Nashville on Sunday morning, 10 a.m., or I should say, I guess 10 a.m., whatever Nashville 10 a.m. time is. Is it the same as Nashville on our time?
I think
can't
Nashville
remember.
Central time.
Well, I couldn't remember if they were saying. I think you're right. I think they are Central. Doors open 2 hours before, 3 hours before the kick. So plan accordingly. If you're going and you want passes and you want to invade this Titans tailgate, 239-1070, Kyle's going to pick somebody right now to get those passes. And again, we'll set you up for Sunday, especially if you're already going. All right, 239-1070. Kyle's going to grab a caller right now. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back because of the top of the hour. Colts running back Deon Jackson will be here as well. Tomorrow, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. We're going to be at Coach's Tavern downtown coming up tomorrow. Would love to see you there. Me and Brent Halverson and Tommy S. and everybody tomorrow for our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Then on Friday, I've got tickets for that Commanders game for you. And we're going to be at Ale Emporium in Castleton coming up on Friday. Bud Light Blue Friday at the Ale Emporium in Castleton. A couple of times when I'd love to see you guys out Thursday and Friday with us. Quick break and we're back after this. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Take the next step in your construction career by becoming a union carpenter.
Some of the best pay in the industry.
Amazing health and retirement benefits.
Ongoing cutting-edge training.
Creating my own career path so I can do what I love.
High safety standards.
Great employment opportunities. Why will you join the Carpenters Union? Join the 75,000 men and women in Indiana who build our communities. For more information, visit the Construction Industry Partnership at indianacip.com.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to know our history. It goes back 70 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing, and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds to top high-end jewelers. Eventually, those same wholesalers began selling direct to you, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values remain the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering, and our warranties and guarantees are unbeatable. And our entire team's only goal is to help you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds and the revolution continues, we invite you into our home to enjoy a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in craftsmanship, rooted in quality, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Attention BetMGM customers. Have a friend who loves sports as much as you do? Here's a chance for both of you to earn a $50 bonus when they sign up through BetMGM's Refer a Friend program. Just sign into your BetMGM account and click on the Refer a Friend program to send your friend a message inviting them to register a new account in the same state you used BetMGM in. Once your friend signs up and makes a deposit, they'll receive a $50 bonus. And once your friend places a bet with their bonus and the wager is settled, you'll receive a $50 bonus as well. Share the excitement and get a $50 bonus every time you refer a friend to BetMGM. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Site credit expires in 30 days. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, JMV here, and you're ready to simplify those purchases while earning unlimited cash back? If so, let's do something about it, and let's go right here with Forum Credit Union's unlimited cashback credit card. No more redeeming points or capped rewards. Forum's card pays you unlimited cash for every purchase. every month automatically. Plus, make secure mobile payments, contactless purchases, and get real-time spending alerts so you can stay on top of all of your expenses. Now, it's the perfect card for everyday items and especially monthly subscriptions. Let's get involved right now. One of the branch locations of Forum Credit Union are online. Find out right now more, forumcu.com.
Introducing Spectrum One. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits per second, advanced Wi-Fi with best-in-class security and privacy, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data plus nationwide 5G. Get it all with Spectrum One. Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com or a Spectrum store today. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
It's John here for Mark Dietel, the absolute best in realty. Mark Dietel of Mark Dietel Realty today. All right, let's go over a lot of things. I know a lot of you are probably looking maybe for something new, maybe a little bit more space, or maybe it's the opposite end. Maybe you're downsizing. Whatever the case, I want you to go with the best here. That's Mark Dietel, Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com today. So many examples of greatness right here. Just, again, trust me with you going with the best. And in fact, we're talking about the best here who gives you guarantees. I mean, great guarantees of multiple offers in 3 days, or he's going to list it for free for you. That's a guarantee that Mark Dietel will give you. Mark Dietel Realty today, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com today.
With PXG Golf Clubs, performance is in the bag. Get custom fitted for your new PXG sticks at the Golf Club of Indiana. Located in Whitestown, the Golf Club of Indiana's Performance Academy offers a private PXG fitting bay to get you fully dialed in with PXG clubs that are optimized for distance, accuracy, and feel. To schedule your custom PXG fitting experience at the Golf Club of Indiana, call 480-435-7803 or visit pxg.com. PXG. Nobody makes golf clubs the way we do. Period.
To beat back winter weather, you got to plan and prepare to win, because good labor's hard to find. Get ready with the new Boss Snow Raider. It's the ultimate sidewalk solution and the new standard for on-the-job productivity. With a Boss Snow Raider, you'll be more equipped to tackle wintry sidewalks than ever before. Keep them open with a Boss Snow Raider. Now in stock and ready to rock. Boss, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com. Hey, sports fans, listen to JMV every Friday for this week's sports picks and information with John Price. Get your weekend picks and be ready to win big.
The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I'm thinking.
6:30 tonight is the pregame coverage right here. Hey, shout out to Harley Dew, who's going down on Sunday, too. I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier, too. I don't think it's necessary for Bennedict Mathurin to be starting right now. I think it all comes with time. I'm trying to prepare you. I know, listen, you're going to say, oh, you're just Mr. Negative all the time. Mr. Negative, No, I'm giving you the realistic point of view. There's going to be a lot more of sites that you don't want to see than sites that you do. There are going to be moments when you're thrilled and you're fired up, and that's great. And then other moments when not so much. And there will be a time when the new and the fresh feeling will wear off. And believe me, they know it. I mean, you've noticed, right? You've noticed how they have marketed the beginning of this season. They understand that. When they got the okay to do this, whether or not you want to call it, I should say, a soft reboot or a reboot or a rebuild or whatever, they have a plan on trying to keep you interested. Because this is different. This is different than what they have done in the past. I just can't sit here and say, well, you know what? You might be right. They may. I can't see it. And this is something that they know too. And you've kind of, I'm assuming, heard that certainly if you're listening here and how they have approached leading up to the start of the season. Yeah, it may be fantastic. It may be fun to watch later on tonight. But there are going to be a lot of nights when it isn't. And you're going to question what the hell is going on. Believe me, that will occur. All right, quick one. Other side, Deon Jackson of the Colts is scheduled to join us. He did a really good job in that Denver game, and then, of course, up until he had to leave with the quad injury. And by the way, he was full participant in practice today. But Deon Jackson off the bench did some good things, and I thought, we don't know a great deal about Deon Jackson, and we're going to find out a lot more about him coming up on the other side. The Colts running back and special teamer will join us. Got more chances for you to, I shouldn't say go to Nashville. That's wrong. When you get to Nashville to go ahead and invade a Titans tailgate. I got another opportunity for you coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. So if you didn't win a moment ago, your chance to win is still on the way. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limits apply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Sandy Moore Buick GMC 131st, State Road 37. It's in Fishers right now. Looking for a new ride. That new set of wheels is just a visit away, really. And I want you to go, and I want you to ask for my friend Eric Wilson, because Eric knows that I'm going to tell you that he's the guy that you talk to about getting that new ride of your choice. I'm telling you what, a great deal awaits. The inventory that you don't have to search all over the place to find, and then the service after the sale that's absolutely unmatched. It's in one place, and this is what's going to make it incredibly easy for you, too. Hassle-free, in fact. One-stop shopping for you and your new set of wheels at one place. Tell them I sent you to Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st, State Road 37 in Fishers.
It's a Music Makes a Difference concert from our sister station 97.1 Hank FM, starring Joe Nichols.
Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall.
Thompson Square.
You gonna kiss me all night.
And Easton Corbin.
Baby, be my love song. Baby, be
Thursday, October 20th at 8 Second Saloon. Tickets start at just $15 and benefits the Franciscan Health Foundation. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. the children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down, so she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day, and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come in for a free fitting, no appointment needed. The Good Feet store, in the north, near Keystone at the Crossing or in Greenwood.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I got to tell you, I see why. Since I started a testosterone replacement program with Affinity, my energy, mental focus, drive, everything is up, and the physical benefits are amazing. Check them out at feelgreatindy.com. Guys, you can improve the way you look, the way you feel. You can build muscle and lose fat. Affinity will give you the roadmap. Go to feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
John here, and it's time to think about replacing your old water softener, right? And go with the best out there. That's Connecticut water. You're going to see my good friend Kristen Airy, I'm sure, and some Connecticut commercials as well coming up with his dogs. Always good, but I'm just here to tell you that you want the best water possible. And right now is a great time to do it with my friends Joe and John and Connecticut. How about $1,000 off a Premier Series water softener? How about $500 off a K5? Serious savings with the best. And Connecticut right now. Shout out to Joe and John for it. Check out the locations. Northeast side, Castleton, South side. US 31 and Southport Road, the Connecticut Water app. You got to download that to your smartphone or device today. All sorts of deals on that for you. Or online, ConnecticutIndy.com.
College football coverage this Saturday on The Fan is brought to you by Family Heating and Air, your trusted independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Indianapolis.
Don't let higher interest rates stop you from getting the home of your dreams. We will refinance you with no fees anytime 6 months after your original closing. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX. Indianapolis.
Hey, join me tomorrow. It won't be as good as today. There'll be no Dane 5, but there will be Tom Allen. There will be Matt Taylor. It's going to be a monster. Join me tomorrow noon till 3.
The Ride with JMV.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up tomorrow. Coaches downtown. Tommy Sutton in the house tomorrow. Me, Brent Halverson, Week 7. The NFL starts coming up tomorrow night. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. And I heard that promo. Who is it that sings Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off or Come Off or whatever like that? Who is that?
I don't know which country singer it is. Oh, I'm not a country guy at all. I've heard the song. I have no idea who sings it.
Who's the country person out there that knows this? Tequila makes her clothes fall off or come off, or that sounds like a song I need to hear, I guess. Tequila makes her clothes fall off. I had no idea that song. I might be interested. And Luna Azul Tequila coming up to my clothes will stay on. And tomorrow, Joe Nichols or Nicholas? Nichols? That's a part of our sister station, Hank FM's show, coming up at 8 Second Saloon, which should be a heck of a good time. Nichols, everybody. I need to enlighten myself, I guess, in some new age country. I can give you some old school stuff. I can go back to the classic country days. I can go Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Alabama, Oak Ridge Boys. I can give you some classic country. I have a hole in my game when it comes to modern day country. Joe Nichols. That's a song. Thank you, everybody. You guys are good. Maybe I need to widen my game a little bit. I always think about being just great at trivia. But I think some of the modern day stuff, I'd have like 3 different decades covered top to bottom. 70s, 80s, and 90s, I'd have everybody covered. But there is a hole in my game. The younger and or most recent that it is probably detrimental. I'd have to find somebody if I were on a trivia team to be able to cover that. And then, obviously the smarter stuff. Bro country, is that what it's called? I like most of it. Some of it is too pop. Bro, is that what Florida Georgia line known as bro country? They're not even together anymore, are they, those two guys?
Yeah, they're broke up. But yeah, I'd say they're bro country.
Bro country. Is Brantley Gilbert bro country? I met him once. He was a pretty nice guy.
Say, I have no idea who that is.
Brantley Gilbert. He was at the track. I think it was with the Brickyard. Brantley Gilbert. Seemed like a nice enough guy. I think he came on. I don't know why we were doing a show out there, I guess, when we did shows for the pre-race wise back then for the Brickyard. Robbie B says that song is old. It's 2005. Is it really? Where have I been? Hey, just a second. Deon Jackson, running back of the Colts, is going to join us. I'm going to give somebody else another chance at passes to invade the Titans VIP tailgate coming up on Sunday. If you're going down to the game, this would greatly benefit you. Got a couple of winners so far. Got more still to come. Going to give you the opportunity to go again, and actually going to give you the opportunity coming up tomorrow to do it too. Yeah, no question. We'll do that coming up. So listen to win if you want to go. Actually, if you're already going down to Nashville coming up on Sunday, I am going to set you up with a pre-gamer that you'll love with bullseyeeventgroup.com. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, you have seen him play running back the past couple of Colts games and play really well. Let's introduce everybody and find out a little bit more about Colts running back Deon Jackson, who joins us again via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Deon, thank you for the time. How you doing?
Hey, no problem, man. I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic, and fantastically done the last 2 weeks. Before we get into it, how's the quad?
Hey, I'm doing good. I was out there at practice today, full go, so everything's going well.
You like me? Did you just slam some biofreeze on it and just start moving around again?
Something like that, little Tiger Bomb, get going.
Wait a minute. Wait. Are you a Tiger Bomb guy, are you?
Yeah, I would say so. I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll and I know you can't, but I'll rub anything on me to feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll bathe, rub, put on, apply, whatever to make myself feel.
Yeah, I'm a big Epsom salt bath guy too.
Are you really? Do you have a hot tub at home?
I kind of got a big tub in my bathroom, so something like that.
See, we hear that all the time. There's an advertiser we have called Royal Spa, and I have a Royal Spa, and the owner, Bob, talks about taking Epsom salt baths in your hot tub, and what's that do for your body? I've never done it.
Honestly, it kind of like brings my legs back. Makes me feel a little bit fresher. Like I usually do it in the afternoon or something like that, like before I go to sleep. And then when I wake up, I feel a lot better. So.
See, I do stuff you probably can't do, so that's and that's understandable right there. But it's all about recovery, and then it's all about recovery time because you don't have a lot of time. You got to get back right in it. And how'd you feel coming off that Thursday game and that extended week when you played this past Sunday? Did you feel pretty good starting the game?
Yeah, actually, I felt really good. That time off that we had from the Thursday game really helped out a lot. I had a lot of time to just take care of my body, get some prehab things kind of worked out and everything like that. So, that was good for me. It had been a while since I played 50 or whatever snaps. It's been a couple of years, so I kind of felt those plays. But going into the last game, I felt really good.
Now, it was different in Denver, certainly on that Thursday night for you, and we can get back to that in a second, but how did you feel? Because not only you're talking about not playing that level of significant snaps in a while, but you were playing this past Sunday against Jacksonville here at Lucas Oil Stadium in the no huddle. How did that do? Was it somewhat exhausting? Because I know Michael Pittman Jr., your teammate, mentioned how exhausted he was after the game. How different is that than what you experienced in that Denver game?
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely a different switch up. It's kind of something that I did a little bit in college, but that was early on, like my sophomore year. It had been a while. So, making that switch from the Denver game to Jacksonville, going no huddle, it was definitely kind of strenuous in practice. That was something that was big for us, going no huddle in practice and everything like that, trying to get used to it. So, going into the game, definitely a different beast. Definitely exhausting. Pitt played more plays than me, but I still felt it, though.
Yeah, I was. Did you know over the week during practice, because your head coach Frank Reich had mentioned you guys were all in on that early in the week in leading up to that Jacksonville game? Could you see it all cohesion-wise, Deon, coming together as you went along during the week of practice last week?
Yeah, for sure. We going in, we kind of knew we were going to start the week off with that. I just feel like as time went along, as practice went along, we got used to it. We got used to the operation and everything like that, and it started to work out pretty smooth. So we knew it was definitely going to be something that we can use in the game, and feel like it worked to our advantage.
So Deon Jackson of the Colts joining us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. When you've got that really significant first playing time in that Denver game, did it take you a minute to dial yourself down, or were you kind of running off those extra juices you got by being in that position?
I feel like I was just running off of those extra juices. I don't think I really had too much time to try and calm myself down or dial myself down or anything like that. Like Nyheim's injury kind of happened sporadically, like it happened out of nowhere, so kind of was just thrust into it, and I didn't really have a chance to process anything or anything like that. I was just kind of in the fire, and I just had to get out there and go.
Was it kind of an oh crap moment for you? Oh crap, here I am. Or was it like, hey, this is what I have practiced. This is what I have played for. This is my moment. How'd you feel when you first knew that you were up and here you go?
I'd say a mix of both. Yeah, I would definitely say a mix of both. When it happened, I definitely was like, "Oh crap!" But then I knew once, like when I ran in there, I knew I was ready. I knew I was ready to get the job done, whatever was asked of me.
It's Deon Jackson. He is with us. So I'm assuming, how did you feel from the Denver game to the Jacksonville game? Even with the experience of practicing for that no huddle, which was completely different. Did you feel like you had just a different level of confidence than you had when you were on the spot and had to enter the game as you did on that Thursday night in Denver?
Definitely, for sure. I definitely feel like I went into the Jacksonville game with a lot more confidence, just based off of the game before. Yeah, I was definitely confident for the Jacksonville game. I wasn't really nervous or anything like that. I had some emotions and stuff like that just because it was my first start. But as far as going out there and executing, I didn't have any worries or anything like that.
All right, when you scored that touchdown on Sunday, is that, with that spike, what you had in mind, or was that just kind of living in the moment there?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of told myself the night before, I was like, if I run somebody over and I score, I'm gonna spike the ball as hard as I can.
Who was that you ran over, by the way, right there? You kind of tattooed somebody there that tried to block your path. How many times have you watched that run?
Literally, probably at least 100.
I love it.
Literally, probably 100.
Man, that should be playing on like a loop on a TV when you walk in your place, honestly. Because, it seemed like it was one of those moments in the NFL, which I'm sure happens often. It's either you or me, and it's going to be me in this hole as we meet right here, right?
That was definitely my mindset. That was definitely how I was thinking. I said, we're going to meet each other at the goal line. I said, either you're going to win or I'm going to win. I said, I like myself.
Did you get the ball back, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Holy crap. What happened to it?
When I spiked it, it flew like 5 rows into the stands. I think they got the ball back, but I don't have it, though.
I think they did. Now that I remember, I went back and watched that play again, and I think that they did get it back. So it's got to be floating around there somewhere.
It's somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere.
Did you have
Did
you have intentions on keeping it?
Not really.
No. Cool.
I have my first touchdown ball from last season when I scored versus the Texans. I have that ball. But honestly, I didn't even think anything about keeping that ball until after the game, and my mom was like, "Did you keep the ball?" And I was like, "Oh, man, no, I didn't even think about that."
So Deon Jackson of the Colts, the running backs on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. When you're coming out of camp, how'd you feel about your chances? And then you always have to be ready. Is it different for you than some of your other teammates in terms of you're playing special teams? There's no doubt, so you're always up for that. But you also have to stay ready to play that position in case you're thrust into it, as you were in Denver on that Thursday night. How do you keep yourself ready for whatever might happen given your situation?
Honestly, JT and Nyheim, literally since I got here last year, once I got activated last year and I was on the active roster, literally they used to tell me consistently, like, look, you got to be ready. You got to lock in on this. Like, you're literally 2 plays away from having to be the guy out here, having to be the lead back. And unfortunately, I mean, the past couple of weeks, that's just what happened. So I give credit to them. They've definitely helped me prepare like a starter since I've gotten here. And hopefully, I've putting those results out on the field.
Well, they're both really good dudes for one. Is there anything that comes to mind immediately, advice-wise, that they have given you that you've actually taken to the field when you've gotten this significantly more playing time in the past 2 weeks and it's worked for you? Anything out of either one?
It's just little like details that they point out. It's just little small things that they point out, like watching film and stuff like that. Just little things that they point out about a certain player's like demeanor or certain attributes or characteristics. And like I listen to pretty much everything that they tell me just because of the experience that they have. They're experienced playmakers out here. They're experienced in this offense. So any advice, anything that they tell me, I listen to because I know that they know what they're doing. They're 2 of the best.
All right, Deon Jackson joins us because we have incredible reach on this afternoon show here in Indianapolis. I have an update for you on the spike football. You ready?
Yeah.
This is from Jeff Sutton. He says, the spiked ball hit my wife in the hands. She missed, but the staff took the ball back onto the field. So it does, as you mentioned, have to be somewhere. So I guess his wife had the opportunity to get it, but didn't quite cash it in.
Yeah, I think I've seen one of the dudes on the field like waving to try and get the ball back. So yeah, I think I did see that. I might have to try and find it.
The Angry Run Scepter Award from Kyle Brand on NFL Network.
Yeah.
Were you honored to receive that? Pretty fired up for it?
Definitely. I was definitely happy to receive that. That was literally the first thing that I saw when I woke up yesterday morning. So I was definitely happy about that, especially because I seen JT win that last year. So for me to win it this year and bring it back to the room is definitely an honor.
That's awesome right there too.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
That run, like when the Colts have a highlight basically for the rest of the season now, that run is probably going to be on most of them right there.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy about that. Yeah, that was definitely a proud moment for sure.
Running back wise, and then special teams. You enjoy special teams, and then what do you feel about yourself as a special teams player, Deon?
Honestly, special teams is something that I learned to love. I never had really any experience playing special teams or anything like that before I got to the NFL. In college, I mean, the only thing that I did in college was like return kickoffs. So special teams was definitely something that I had to get used to. But honestly, I like special teams a lot. Feel like I'm still getting better, but I'm way more developed as a special teams player than I was last year. Just blocking, getting my assignments and everything like that. So I think I have a lot more value in special teams this year. Yeah, so
what's Bubba Ventrone is the noted special teams coach for you guys.
Yeah.
What has he told you, both good and bad? What you can do better, and then what you do at a high level right now with his special teams unit?
Well, for one, he's told me that I'm night and day from last year. He trusts me. He trusts me on every unit now. He has a lot of belief in my abilities. The only thing he's looking for out of me is just keep being consistent. Just show consistency every week. Show up every week and get my job done.
So does that make you think about that? So you didn't trust me last year with every?
Maybe a little bit.
So wait a minute, you didn't wait.
I love Bubba though.
When were those moments when you didn't trust me last year? I'm kind of curious when those were to look back on it. It's Deon Jackson with us. I was talking to voice of the Colts Matt Taylor, who's a friend of mine. He was on a little bit earlier too, and I guess you guys had a conversation earlier today. You get an interesting background in and around Atlanta in high school at the Pace Academy, and I looked this up. There are some professional athletes that came out of your high school back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. Some of my close friends, man. Some of my close friends.
How good was the high school football team back when you were there?
We were pretty good. Our best year, I'd say my junior year. That was the year we won state. From that team, from my junior year team, it's actually 4 of us that are in the NFL right now. So it's me, Andrew Thomas, the left tackle for the Giants. Jamari Sellier, he's a rookie this year on the Chargers. He's actually playing left tackle right now.
Oh, he was playing on Monday night a bunch.
Yeah, for sure. And then our kicker, actually, Samuel Sloman, I think he just got signed by the 49ers or something like that. So I think he's back in the league again. So I think it's 4 of us right now.
Is that high school known in the Atlanta area for pumping out, professional athletes, high-level collegiate athletes too?
Actually, not really. Like, when I got there, I think the football program had literally just started 5 years prior to me getting to the school. 5 years prior to my freshman year. So I think they started varsity football in 2008 or 2009, and my freshman year was 2013. So, it was a fairly new program. We kind of just turned it up real fast.
Again, Deon Jackson's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So why was it Duke for you? Did you have other options when you came out of the Pace Academy, or was it Duke all along? What was your mindset going into college out of high school?
My final two schools that I decided from were Duke and Notre Dame. I had a good amount of offers. I had a lot of offers, not gonna lie. But my final 2 was Duke and Notre Dame. I had actually committed to Duke before my senior season. Notre Dame had been recruiting me all along, but then when they switched and they got a new staff, then the new staff offered me, and they were trying to flip me from Duke. I felt loyal to Duke. Duke's offense was pretty kind of similar to what I ran in high school, so something that I was going to be comfortable in. Then I knew coming in I had a chance to be able to play early and not have to redshirt. So plus the education, you can't beat that top-tier education, one of the top schools in the country. So and then also playing Power 5 football, so getting the best of both worlds is definitely something that appealed to me and my family. So helped me make the choice.
Clearly, academics were incredibly important to you, Deon. What? Give me back in high school, because you got football and you got training and you got weightlifting and all that going on, and then you had your academics. How much of that day and night, every single day back in your high school did that eat up? How many hours a night?
Honestly, I tried to get a lot of my work done during school. Like, since I went to a private school, like the way our schedule and stuff was set up, we would have like free periods where we didn't have classes. So some days I would have 1 or 2 free periods where I don't have a class. So I would just go to the Academic Resource Center, kind of do my work and try and get that done before I have to go home, because I knew I was going to get home kind of later. So honestly, I got a lot of my work done during school, but there's definitely a lot of days where it'll have me up to 11 or so at night getting work done or getting some reading done or something like that for school for the next day.
He's Deon Jackson of the Colts. You've seen him especially be active and certainly with great results in the past 2 games in Denver and then at home against Jacksonville this past weekend. He's with us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm assuming, being from Atlanta, you were a Falcons fan growing up. Was it surreal the first time you were on the field with Matt Ryan?
Yeah, definitely kind of a jaw-dropping experience, I would say. Kind of funny, like the first day we reported, it was actually the day before we reported back for OTAs. I kind of pulled up to the facility just to kind of get some things straightened in my locker, and it was a truck sitting out here in the parking lot. It was only him, and I had parked next to the truck, not realizing who was in it. And then I looked, and I was like, "Oh, that's Matt." I was like, "That's Matt Ryan." So then the first thing we talked about was him being the commencement speaker at my graduation. So it's kind of funny.
Do you remember what his subject was?
Honestly, I really don't, to be honest. Like, for the most part, people, like, all of us were, like, in the crowd, and we were like, dude, that's Matt Ryan. Like, we were hardly paying attention to what he was saying. We were kind of all in shock.
Yeah, I'm assuming, too, because, you know, we had Peyton Manning around here for so many years. There's probably a similar feeling to what the Atlanta folks felt about Matt Ryan to what most people felt about Peyton Manning over the Manning years here.
Yeah, I would probably say that's some pretty similar feeling, yeah.
Is it safe to say that as a fan back in the day, one of your not so good days was that Super Bowl, that second half of that Super Bowl with the Falcons and the Patriots?
That was a disappointing, like, after that was a disappointing day in the city, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the aura around school after that, like, everybody was down, everybody was upset. Because we actually, like, I think that Friday before the Super Bowl, like, whatever the last day of school was before that Super Bowl, I know we got the day off of school. Like, we were on the news for that and all of that. So, I mean, it was kind of wild. You know, that was part of the subject that he talked about during our speech. Actually, now that I think about it, because that was that same year. Yeah, that
kind of probably as a fan makes you want to turn the lights out and not turn them back on for a while, right there. That's how certainly bad that was. It's Deon Jackson and the Colts with us. Do you know? I know it's early. It's Wednesday. A lot of things have to happen, but do you know what part of the game plan that you may be in coming up on Sunday at all, or have you yet to go over that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, whenever my number's called, I'm just gonna be ready to go in there and produce and go in there and do my part. So whatever part that may be, that's what it is.
You know, and one thing too, there wasn't a great deal of offensive consistency and cohesion leading up to going to that no huddle. Did you see a difference from that no huddle and some of the different things you guys worked on, practiced on offensively? Did you see that come to life against Jacksonville, and that stuff that you think you can take away and be more efficient further down the road using it?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. The most important thing, I mean, is just having that sense of urgency and everybody being on the same page. I feel like with the no huddle, we kind of all had to be on the same page in order to get everything done. So I feel like that was really good for us. It's definitely something that we can keep going and continue with.
All right, when you scored that touchdown and you got the angry run scepter and all that, did you hear from a lot of people?
Yeah, I did. I definitely heard from a lot of people. A lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of people telling me that I single-handedly won their fantasy matchup for the week. I got a lot of that.
See, a lot of players don't dig on the like. If I were to ask Nyheim that, he'd go, "What are you talking about here?" But do you embrace that? The fantasy talk from fans? I'm sure you've heard from them, right?
Nah, yeah, I've definitely heard a lot from the fans. Like, I may not respond, but I definitely read it though. Like, I used to play fantasy myself, so I kind of understand.
Would you pick yourself? Would you put yourself on your own team if you had a fantasy team?
I mean, yeah, if I'm going off of the past 2 weeks, I would, yeah.
Yeah. That a guy right there. That's what I'm looking for. I do too, but I'm around here and people know me and probably frown upon this, but I'm a big wide receiver. I've got like 25 wide receivers on my fantasy team. I mean, I'm a big wide receiver after wide receiver guy, so that's kind of where I'm hanging. Hey, excellent conversation. Congratulations on what you've accomplished, especially, in the spotlight these past couple of weeks. And here's hoping for more and the great results and great conversation. And hopefully we can do it again. Deon, thanks for stopping on the show.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Deon Jackson right there, the Colts via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That is a really good guy right there. I mean, really good guy. Outstanding conversation. I knew we were going to have a good one with him. So I'd like to do is you can go all over the map with stuff. And it is really, to me, it's a difference maker when you don't know a great deal about the person in general, right? He just kind of opened up. That was good. Deon Jackson of the Colts on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. All right, here's what I'm going to do for you right now if you guys are thinking about it. Anybody going to Nashville on Sunday? I've got the opportunity for you to hit up the Titans VIP tailgate. You can invade the Titans VIP tailgate. 3 hours, doors open before that start down in Nashville on Sunday. All you can eat, all you can drink. You can be a part of it. If you're going to the game especially, if you're going on Sunday and you'd like to go to this Titans VIP tailgate, you want to invade the Titans space on Sunday, call 239-1070 right now with my friend Kyle Kinnett and BullseyeEventGroup.com, and Kyle's going to set somebody up. Especially if you're going down there on Sunday. 239-1070 will set somebody up with passes. Now, again, these are not tickets to the game. They're just passes to that VIP tailgate before the game. 239-1070. Kyle will get a winner. We'll come back with you on the other side next.
Is back, and so is your chance to win with BetRivers Sportsbook app. Featuring our new multi-game same-game parlay. Combine the action of multiple same-game parlays in one bet for more action and bigger payouts. Bet the spread, bet the over, bet player props, and more. Throw in daily odds boost plus award-winning customer service, and it's a touchdown. Download it today.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's John here for the Low T Center. All right. I know that when I talk about my level of testosterone, you know what? My keg is full and all that. It's one thing, and I'm glad. I'm very happy for it. But you know what the Low T Center does that others just cannot compete regarding? That's your overall men's wellness, because that's what they care about. They care about all of your numbers, not just your level of testosterone. Low T Center has affordable and convenient options for treatment just for you, too. This is great. It's called Monitored Self-Inject. It ships directly to you every month. Listen, I want you not only to be better, I want you to feel better. I want you to know with the Low T Center. Make your health a priority and schedule that annual health assessment at the Low T Center today. It's covered by most health insurance, or it's less than $100 cash pay. That's lowtcenter.com. Fellas, again, lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back 60 years, when a diamond cutter in Israel became well known for his exceptional craftsmanship. His diamond cutting business flourished for decades. Then his sons got involved and started selling these exceptional diamonds to upscale jewelry stores here in America. Then, after a few years, these wholesalers changed the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices they had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success, and Diamonds Direct was born. Today, Diamonds Direct provides that extraordinary value to people all over America, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best prices, period. Diamonds Direct, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. DiamondsDirect.com.
Hey, it's John for BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgates presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Commanders next up a week from Sunday in town. A let's pregame party in style. You can eat all that you want. You can drink all that you want. That is a fantastic day already, even before you go over for the game across the street at Lucas Oil Stadium. So get those passes right now. You got DJ Skids, DJ Helicon with the entertainment. I promise a blast. You're looking for a great game day experience? It starts inside the Bullseye Event Center. The Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration with BullseyeEventGroup.com. And remember, you want to sign up for that Vegas trip, a flight to and from, a stay at Caesars. It's going to be a great weekend. Tickets to the Raiders and the Colts game at a Vegas-style VIP tailgate, all for you in Vegas. Log on right now. Make sure you're a part of a weekend in Vegas with BullseyeEventGroup.com.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. how doers get more done.
Thad Matta is back as Butler University's men's basketball coach, and single-game tickets for Hinkle Fieldhouse this season are on sale now. Matta has reshaped the team's roster and recommitted these Bulldogs to the Butler way. The Dogs are pushing to sell out Thad's first game November 7th versus New Orleans and need you there. 4-game packages are also available starting at just $65. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets to get your seats. Be part of Coach Matta's return. Get to Hinkle this season.
At Eskenazi Health, our patients are treated with compassion and skill. That's why Eskenazi Health is looking for professionals who share our mission and are dedicated to serving the community. As an employee of Indiana's top hospital for social responsibility and community health investment, you'll enjoy excellent benefits, competitive pay, and unwavering leadership support. Learn more about Eskenazi Health careers online at eskenazihealth.edu/careers.
A new season, a new QB, a new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, this Friday at Ale Emporium North for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you this Friday at the Ale Emporium North.
If you're serious about selling your home, call Mark Dietel and his team today at 317-755-4232 or online markdietel.com. That's markdietel.com today.
Hey, sports fans, listen to JMV every Friday for this week's sports picks and information with John Price. Get your weekend picks and be ready to win big.
It's Kevin and Query.
Joe Madden. If I gave you title of commissioner of baseball, what would you change?
The runner at second base, please stop doing that.
That leads to an age-old argument. You're a kid, you're playing backyard baseball with your buddies, and you got to use a ghost runner, and you hit a double. What happens to the ghost man?
He scores.
Thank you. Yes.
Of course he does. And when he's a runner on first base, he scores on a triple. I mean,
that's exactly right.
Math, man.
Kevin and Query.
Weekday mornings at 7
on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Collect them, trade them, or just enjoy them.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Deon Jackson of the Colts Really Good podcast, 107.5thefan.com. Would you draft himself? Would you draft yourself? Yeah, my favorite was the beginning right there. Most uncomfortable start to an interview ever, according to Nick Martin. Well, apparently I can do a lot of things that you can't. That's so true, though. But he is not wrong. Shout out to Bob Dapper, too, of Royal Spa. I've got to try that Epsom salt thing. I've never tried that before. All I do is whine about my body aches this and my body hurts that. JMV, did you really just ask him if he just slapped some biofreeze on his quad? Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah. I'm sure the training staff over there listening is going, what in the world? I'll tell you what BioFreeze does for me. Not only does it get me loose, that is my favorite. BioFreeze is my favorite right now. I'm not a Tiger Balm guy. And believe me, if there's somebody that is an authority on all of this, it is me. I am not a Tiger Balm guy. Here's what I believe sets BioFreeze apart. Not only will it get me loose, and sometimes if I put enough on, it will numb, but also if you sniff it, have you guys sniffed it? If you it will open up your nasal passages like nothing else. So I apply and I sniff. Seriously, try that sometime. Surely it's not a bad thing to do, right? Apply and sniff is what I do. Sometimes I put a little bit right here on my nostril.
Isn't that what? That's what Vicks Vapor Rub is for.
No, I do that too. Yeah, I do that too. But you're right now, the clubhouse leader is Biofreeze. Indie chick, this is Sarah. I can't believe you've never soaked in Epsom salt. First of all, it's tough because I have there are like 3 or 4 words in my vocabulary. Well, really only 3 or 4 words in my vocabulary in general. But there are 3 or 4 words that I struggle in saying. Epsom would be one. I really have to concentrate or I'm going to blank it up. That and rule. RURAL. I don't know if I could ever do, like, let's say, for example, if Rural King ever wants to advertise with us, I would have to sit and practice for a while. Which is weird because I am a rural guy from a rural area, but I'd have to practice a great deal. Like if I'm Matt Bear downstairs doing traffic, if something happens like on Rural Street or 10th and Rural, I would certainly probably keep that until last. Those are a couple that I don't like to mess with. And when you do this long enough, you come up with the words and you go, I'm really going to try to not say that. Matthew writes this, I absolutely love that dude. Yeah, Deon Jackson was good. And a shout out to Jeff Sutton as well, who had mentioned the ball when Deon Jackson scored and spiked it. He said the ball hit his wife in the hands, but she missed it on Sunday. But no Epsom salt for me yet. You guys are all telling me I need to try it. I just haven't yet. Hey, JMV, I saw Brantley Gilbert pre-COVID at Ruoff. His microphone is welded to brass knuckles and a very Kid Rock feel to it. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell. I mean, he was just talking. He was just kind of a regular dude when we were doing an interview, I guess. Seemed like a nice enough guy then. It's from Sean. You say you don't want Mathurin to start. I didn't say I didn't want him to start. I just said it's not a big deal. Pacers open up later on tonight. And Bennedict Mathurin has been a guy that certainly a lot of people were excited about seeing. And Sean had asked me a little bit earlier, do you think he should start? And I said I really didn't care at this point. I don't think it's necessary either way. Still trying to learn about player development. Is it still possible for him to get maximum experience while coming off the bench? Because I want him to have as much experience as possible. I just don't think that's a big deal right now. Experience he's going to get. Yeah, no question. I don't think you have to worry about it, I guess, Sean's what I'm saying. Thank you for listening down in Evansville. Mac writes this, I love the conversation with Deon Jackson. What a great dude. He was really good. And if you missed any of it, the podcast, 1075thefan.com. JMV, I heard you talking about the Pacers a little bit earlier. So what is your prediction for the number of wins this year? I think that you should be excited if they bust anywhere past 30. Right?
If they win more than 30 games, depending on your perspective,
you should go through the roof. So I'm thinking probably 28, 27.
Oh, I was going to say 23.
Oh, you're saying even lower than their win total a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
There are going to be so many other teams tanking, though. And probably even more that we're going to see as the season goes along, won't that?
But not in the East. A lot of those teams are in the West.
What, Charlotte is one?
Charlotte's not trying to tank.
Charlotte's not trying to tank?
I don't think, no. I think the only team that is expected to be very bad this year in the East is the Pacers. Maybe Orlando.
Yeah, I thought for sure that the Hornets were in tank mode right now. But you say no, huh?
Now with the young guy in LaMelo, and you got Gordon Hayward still there. I can't think of. You got Rozier still there, right?
Yeah, there's certainly more teams there that because I mean the Pistons are gonna try, legitimately.
You would think,
punch into the postseason at the tail end. Cavaliers are supposed to be at the top with Donovan Mitchell. See about the Bulls. The Bulls know Zach LaVine tonight,
but they have DeRozan. They're not going to try to tank.
They're not trying to do it. The Hawks aren't trying to do it.
The Knicks, maybe. I don't think the Knicks are trying to tank.
The Wizards may end up in that mode at some point.
Yeah, we'll see with Bradley Beal's health.
Yeah. So, Raptors?
No.
I don't think so. I don't know. 23, I don't think people would dig on 23. Don't you at least have to get one past?
Well, if your goal is
total of a year ago?
Best odds for Wembanyama, then you'd be happy with 23.
Yeah,
but
you
if you're wanting to see a little bit more just winning, then you'd be upset.
How do you find that delicate balance between improvement on players and then still keeping yourself with the best options of, drafting in what people believe to be one of the better classes that we have seen in a while? That's tough because you're trying to appease both sides, and both sides are not mutually exclusive in this case. It's tough.
I think it's good you have some young leaders that are your best players on the team. Like I'd say Halliburton's your leader, but he's also your best player. And I think it is good to have maybe a few, like TJ McConnell's a good veteran guy who so those young guys don't get too sideways when you're losing 14 out of 20 games.
Game 1 is later on tonight. 6:30 is your pregame coverage right here. Get the Wizards and the Pacers. This is like first of 3. They open up with 3 at home. Wizards tonight. Spurs in tank mode coming up on Friday. And then the Pistons and Jaden Ivey in town coming up on Saturday. Then I think they embark on a road trip that goes about 5 games deep after that. But the first 3 at home to start the season. We'll have full discussion for you coming up tomorrow. We'll tell you about tomorrow, too, on the road at Coach's Tavern downtown. Large City Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots, week 7 of the NFL. Then Friday is going to be a humdinger as well. I'll tell you when and where and what it's all about coming up next. Final time for this show on a Wednesday. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Helzberg Diamonds presents the holy grail of engagement rings. Michael was getting engaged and needed a ring, but not just any ring, the engagement ring. The kind that when he saw it, he'd just know. So Michael looked around online, asked friends for advice.
I want a ring that's special. One that's, You gotta go to Helzberg.
Michael went to Helzberg Diamonds, where he found an incredible selection of beautiful rings, settings, and both lab-grown and natural diamonds, certified and guaranteed to be of the highest quality. He also met Sarah, a Helzberg Diamond expert, who helped him find that special ring he was looking for, so that when his fiancée opened the box...
Wow, it's...
Yep, sounds right to me. Be like Michael. Find the engagement ring of her dreams at a Helzberg store near you or online at Helzberg.com. And right now at Helzberg Diamonds, take advantage of special financing offers.
Basements get a bad rap. Probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Thanks to screenwriters, crawl spaces aren't very popular either. Michaelis is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. And their French drains, vapor barriers, and encapsulation techniques turn crawl spaces into a Disney set. Yeah, okay, that probably went a bit far. But with over 35 years' experience, they have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Think Michaelis. And think how nice it would be to get rid of foundation cracks, basement leaks, damp smells, and all the nightmares that come with them. Water, storms, fire, and foundations. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Got a great idea for you. I called John Love today. Actually, I learned something about my system today. That's another great thing that John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air can do for you as well. 317-353-2141. I had a filter in my system that I found out today that needed changed. I made that call, 317-353-2141, because I want to make sure that my system is running efficiently, and simply put, it was not. So go with the best, just like I did, with Love Heating and Air. That's John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air. Again, that number, 317-353-2141. Shout out to Kim, who also helped me out a little bit earlier today as well. Love-HVAC.com today.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, When you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Got 14 Central Indiana car locations run by Joe Childers. For your car, truck, or van, there's no better place to go, and especially to maintain that fall road readiness. For tires and brakes and brake pads, oil changes, mechanical stuff, they can do it all for you. Trust them. Joe Childers run 14 Central Indiana locations, and know this, also the sponsor of the high school football game of the week. Now that we're getting into the postseason, even more exciting, and also a sponsor of Bob Lovell and a part of my show each and every Friday talking about just that. Your 14 Central Indiana CarX locations. There's one near you. To find it online, CarX.com today.
Find out why so many Americans are getting relief with a simple cash-out refinance. How much cash can you get? Visit thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
All right, let's do it. The Harris Hoosier Park race of the day, 50-50 in betting and dining. From Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson, here's who will compete. SPT in the house. Brett Crabtree is here. Tyler Scanlon is a part of it. There's Mac. Nick Johnson, Justin, Toby Conlon, Mark Sizemore, Jason Stennett, and Brian, all a part of this Wednesday edition of the Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. From Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, it's time for the Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, y'all. Good start from that outside post for RG's Reckless Love. Out to Get Lucky is also quickly into matters. Better Way to Rock third. Then comes Freddie Faves, who's advancing up on the outside of Rockin' Cowboy and Sullenberger. From the second tier, Always a Hero comes through and is now seventh. Racing eighth is Babe's Shooter with Turn Me Loose. And then up on the outside is Ben Racin. That first quarter was covered in 26 2/5. They're moving on to the back stretch. And the leader is RG's Reckless Love. Second is Out to Get Lucky. Freddie Faves parked on the outside, now moving forwardly, and Freddie Faves has taken second and is drawing up alongside the leader. Fourth is Better Way to Rock with Rockin' Cowboy fifth. Then sixth is Sullenberger. Always a Hero is to the inside of Ben Racin, and the trailing two are Turn Me Loose and Babe Shooter. By the half and 55 seconds, moving to the far turn. And it is now Freddie Faves and Michael Oosting who are in front. Out to Get Lucky up on the outside. Better Way to Rock is following that cover on the outside, also moving up. RG's Reckless Love is down on the inside, and we'll need to wait for Racing Room. Racing fifth is Sullenberger. Then next is Ben Racin, and to the inside, Rockin' Cowboy. Going wide through the turn, Turn Me Loose, now up three deep out there as they come to the top of the stretch. Three quarters, 124-4, 29-4 third quarter. Freddie Faves the leader. Out to Get Lucky on the outside. Better Way to Rock oncoming, and trying to come through on the inside is RG's Reckless Love. Freddie Faves, Better Way to Rock on the outside has now come on to take the lead. Sullenberger is charging. Out to Get Lucky. Down on the inside is Babe Shooter trying to come through. Better Way to Rock. Sullenberger on the outside of Better Way to Rock, and they hit the line together. Also a photo for third. Out to Get Lucky and Babe Shooter, 154.
Just minutes from Indy off I-69 in Anderson, Harris Hoosier Park has live standard-bred horse racing through December 10th, thanks in part to the Indiana Standard-Bred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with the Harris Hoosier Park Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Marion travels to Concordia on American Standards College Football Saturday. The coverage begins at 1 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Coming up, our conversation.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Thanks to everybody inside the lounge via YouTube Live today. Another outstanding day from you guys. Appreciate it. Tyler Travis Scanlon, the winner of the Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day. He's going to get 50-50 in betting and dining from Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. It was Sullenberger. The win paid out $44.60. The place $17. Showed at $4.80. Better Way to Rock placed at $5.40. Showed at $5. Out to Get Lucky showed at $3. That $2 exacta payout $294.60. And the 50-cent trifecta payout a robust $397.80. There it is every Wednesday and Thursday right here in the 5 o'clock hour. The Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day. All right, I am going to have to go over coming up on the other side. About 5 minutes or so. So we can do a little anything goes if you guys want to do a little anything goes. It's up to you. We can do a little anything goes coming up on the other side. We haven't done that in forever. And since we're going to go a little bit extra time because of the Pacer pregame at 6:30, if you guys want to do a little anything goes, we can do that at 239-1070 coming up next. Got about 5 minutes I'll put on the clock, and we'll talk it up with you coming up next. We haven't done it in a while. And again, the setup is this. You call in at 239-1070. Kyle puts you on hold, and then we bring you on the air. So there's no formal setup like normal. This is just you jumping on here. No, anything goes coming up here after the top of the hour. Are you playing out the in bed here, or you want to do that at the end? Okay, we'll do that on the other side. Do I need to break right here then? All right. Kyle says break, I'll break. We'll do a little anything goes coming up on the other side at 239-1070. This is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Last time the Colts and Titans met, it didn't go so well.
Tennessee 24, the Colts 17.
But things are looking up in the Colts' quest for the AFC South playoffs.
Looking for Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown.
And our boys in blue hit 65 south to Nashville to keep it going against the Tennessee Titans. It all starts Sunday at 10 with the pregame. Matt Taylor with the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for Colts football. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position for the right person. If you or someone you know is just out of college or is in college studying electrical engineering or a related field, this job may be perfect for you and your future career growth. You'll get hands-on experience with lighting and power technology. You'll learn real-world skills like building design, utilizing 3D modeling with Revit, and you'll get competitive pay with a benefits package while doing it.
Hi, this is James Darnell. I'm the Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to start a career. Our staff averages 16 years with the company, and the majority of our clients are repeat ones. We emphasize service and respect for our customers, one another, and our environment.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672.
BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, unleashes the spirit of Las Vegas with BetMGM rewards. Every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM rewards points that you can then redeem for online bonus credits like free bets. It's never been easier to join the action on the new BetMGM app, featuring a fresh redesign with improved features and quicker navigation. Planning a trip to Vegas? You can also convert your BetMGM points into MGM rewards points that you can use towards dining, shows, and hotel rooms at over 20 MGM properties located on the Las Vegas Strip and nationwide. BetMGM Rewards is sports betting's premier loyalty program, including exclusive offers, incredible experiences, and valuable perks when you wager with BetMGM. Sign up with BetMGM or log in today to take advantage of BetMGM Rewards. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
When winter is at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
Basketball is back. Jake Query here. Tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet turn into $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's right. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped-up same-game parlay today. With payouts even bigger, DraftKings Sportsbook is the place to bet on the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code 1075FAN and make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook app with the promo code 1075FAN. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Deposit, parlay, and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX. Indianapolis. The Colts head to Tennessee to face the division rival Titans. Coverage Sunday morning at 10. On 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Ahoy, Ploy.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Haven't done it in a while. We got a little extra time before we hand it over to the Pacer pregame show. Bottom of the hour. Pacers open up with the Wizards at home. The first of 3 tonight with the Wizards. 6:30 pregame show, 7 p the tip. Enjoy the game tonight, by the way, too. Shout out for the Lizzo concert that was last night. A lot of you said that you enjoyed that. The night prior was Carrie Underwood, so some big stuff happening inside the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Also big stuff happening right here. First time we've done this in a while. It is called Anything Goes, 239-1070. You call in, we set you up, and then you go like line 1 at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
What up, strangers? Big A.
What's happening?
Hey, man, you know, everybody else has already talked all kinds of sports. So I want to come up with a scenario for you.
Okay.
Matter of fact, for you and Cal.
But go quick for me, my good friend, okay?
Imagine the biggest man cave. I mean, he got ESPN from 1 to 50. You know, Fox Sports. They're 2-man caves. Now, this is your premarital days. This is before you and
I've got porn in the man cave, is what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, now this is your choice. You got choice A and choice B.
Okay.
There are 2 hosts in each one.
Okay.
Tell me. I hope you're sitting down. Hold on to something. Which would you want to go into? Man Cave 1 with the host of Jennifer Aniston and Jane Kennedy, or Man Cave B, number 2, Raquel Welch and Pam Grier?
Well, I am huge on Jane Kennedy. There's no doubt from the past. All right, I was always jealous of Isaac, I think was his name, right? I was very jealous. But I'm going to tell you, Pam Grier has and will always be at the top of my list. So because not only can you, I mean, we can hang out and watch some. I can watch some of Pam Grier's films from the '70s too. So I'm putting on Sheba or Foxy Brown and going with Pam Grier, buddy.
As Bernie Mac used to say, nice. Real nice.
Thank you, Aaron. I love that question, by the way, but I am a tremendous fan. Always have been and always. I was young, little bitty dude. Love Pam Grier. Pam Grier always. Line 2, anything goes. Who's this?
Hey, it's Minnesota Roar. How you doing, John?
Roar, how you doing up in northern Minnesota?
Freezing my big butt off. That's what I'm doing.
What do you got, buddy?
Hey, I got something real quick for you. First of all, kudos to the Colts owner, Jim Irsay, for having the biggest billionaire balls in the NFL as the owner, for coming out and saying what he did. And he's saying what everybody else is thinking. Springboarding off that real quick, John.
Yeah.
Moving forward in the season, this narrative, will it be spun, do you think, throughout the year? And, like, for example, coming up against the Commanders, it's not the Wentz revenge game anymore because he's gone.
Right.
Now it's going to be, are they going to spin it to, like...
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be...
Irsay versus Snyder.
Yeah, Roar, it'll be a topic of discussion going in. I think it's a late afternoon game, too, so it'll be a huge topic of discussion going in. But I think other than the camera shots trying to get in the owner's box, it probably will end right there, I would guess. But yes, it'll be often talked about leading. The lead up definitely will be loud, no question.
Yeah, because, John, this story, it's really getting legs.
Yeah. The lead-up's going to be, there's no doubt, Roy, the lead-up is going to be loud. Hey, by the way, northern Minnesota, temperature, what is it right now?
It's actually not too bad. We're hitting a little warm-up. It's 50 right now. I'm out in the garage sucking some Evan Williams.
Ah, nice.
And it's supposed to be 70 this weekend.
Yeah, awesome. It's warmer there than it is here, I think, right now.
And it goes into the dumpster.
Thank you for listening and being a part of it and listening on the app up in northern Minnesota. We appreciate it, Roy.
You bet. Take care, brother.
You got it. Is anything goes. Line 3 at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
Chris from the South Side.
Hello, Chris, South Side. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, just tired of Matt Taylor always fumbling, making bad calls, down distance. Just, man, make you really appreciate Bob Lamey.
I love me, Matt Taylor. I completely disagree with that. I love Matt. Team Taylor for me, baby. Line 4. Anything goes. Who's this?
Jason in Lebanon.
Jason, got to go quick for me. What's up?
First time, long time. Love your show.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, I got a question for you about a movie and a rock group.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the movie Used Cars with
Yes,
Kurt Russell?
Absolutely.
How about the rock group Star Castle?
Star Castle is a video game to me, not a rock group. I've not heard of Star.
There was a rock group called Star Castle. They sing a song called "Lady on the Lake."
Give me that call from Lebanon again when we have more time, man. I appreciate that call right there. Kyle, great job out of you. Deon Jackson, Matt Taylor, Kevin Bowen. Podcast 1075thefan.com. Listen to some Pacers bottom of the hour right here on 93.5 1075 The Fan. Catch you at Coach's Tavern tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Be there.